Folks, this is game one of a three-game series versus.
Once again, everybody, John Balgini, Tyler Peterson, live from Melaleuca Field on Jim Garshow Way. Coming up, another night of Idaho Falls Chukars baseball. But first, it's time for the Toyota pregame show. And today, Tyler's going to explain the playoff situation, what the Chucks need to do. And, of course, we will be big Missoula Paddlehead fans over the next 3 nights. Anyway, our pregame show coming up in 2 minutes here on KSBZ. Well, we're on the air a little early tonight, but that's okay. We have a lot to talk about. First off, before we get to the playoff situation, let's check in with Tyler and find out what the heck happened in Billings, Montana over the last week.
That's a good question, John. An answer, I'm not sure. I do have to say this Mustangs team, who we were watching in the standings this whole second half, going on these runs. They were out in front of the Chukars for the better part of the second half. We were thinking, geez, are these guys for real? What's going on in Billings? Because the 2 times we saw the Billings Mustangs, they couldn't really pitch. They were walking a whole lot of guys. The Chukars won 4 of 6 in 2 series in Melaleuca. But we go up to Billings. You know, first of all, fantastic town, Billings, and that stadium at Dealer Park is great, but it didn't treat the Chukars very well. The Billings Mustangs won 5 of 6 against the Chucks, the only Chukars win. It came right in the middle of the series, Game 4. Joe Slocum beat Jason Seaver in a 13-2 decisive win. The rest of the week, I mean, some close games, a 2-run game, a 3-run game, a couple of 4-run games, and a 1-run game. The Mustangs just seemed to hit when they needed to hit. They were getting 2-out runs. They were stealing bases. They were putting down bunts. They were executing their plan. They were playing their game. They only made a couple errors, and the pitching staff looked pretty good. They didn't walk a whole lot of guys. When they did, they were able to strike out guys they needed to strike out. And then the last 2 days, just some untimely mistakes on the base paths for the Chukars. I think of the Game 5 when the Chukars had the bases loaded and 1 out in the 8th. They're only down 2. And Hunter Hissey hits a pop-up behind home plate. The infield fly rule is called. The catcher is backing up. The ball drops in front of home plate. It falls fair. Steve Barmakian runs from third to try to score. He's tagged out. The inning's over. And then the next day, second and third, 1 out, and the Chukars are down 2. You're thinking, here we go. We've got our guy at the plate. I believe it was either Barmakian or Kona Quiggle at the plate, and we were feeling pretty good about it. And then all of a sudden, a ball skips off the catcher's glove. It lands right in his hand, though, and Brady West was coming down about 15 feet down the line trying to score, realized, oh, that didn't actually get away from him, and he's throwing that at third, and it sort of ended that rally as well. So Billings got big outs when they needed. They got big hits when they needed, and the Chukars, they didn't play all that badly, I don't think, but the Billings Mustangs, they just played better ball.
The bats have been fairly quiet in the month of August and September compared to what they did in the first half of the season. And, boy, some nights the Chukar bullpen is right on, and other nights they really struggle. And that's been another situation where I think the Chukars here in the second half have been hurt, and that has been the action of the bullpen. The starters have done pretty good for the most part, but the bullpen has struggled.
The starters have, and you talk about as well Nick Floyd and those pitching staff with the absence of Austin Dubsky currently and Jake Binder coming on and off of the ineligible list. Nick Floyd has been big for the Chukars, and Daniel Silva had a few rough outings toward the end of the first half, started the second half, but he has had a couple really good outings against the Mustangs, the Hawks, and the Voyagers in order. But you look at the second half, and in August, Chukars were 2 games under 500. In September, they've only won 1 of 6 games. Of course, all those in Billings, as we just talked about. But again, if the Chukars aren't scoring runs, they're not winning. In games decided by 4 runs or more, basically in games where the Chukars are blowing out a team or they're getting blown out, they're 42-19. Now, look at close games decided by 3 runs or fewer. They're only 13-19. Same amount of losses, but far fewer the amount of wins, only 13-19. So these close, tight games where you're going down the wire, you're depending on that bullpen, John, and you're depending on your team to come back. Those are the times where this team has faltered.
I noticed that in 1-run ball games, the Chukars have the worst record in the Pioneer League, 3 wins, 9 losses, and boy, you reverse that and would be printing playoff tickets right now.
I know. You think about a few games where it came down to the last out. I think of the game against the Raptors, the Goldfarb catch, non-catch in center field. All of a sudden, you've got Webb Little up, the tying run at third base. You're down 1. You're thinking, hey, we're feeling pretty good about ourselves. The Chukars can't get it done there. I think of another game against Billings where Andrew Dawn hits a big home run. It was a fireworks night. I believe it was July 4th. We had all these lights going off, and then the bullpen comes in, gives up 2 runs. We lose by 1. A game against Missoula early in the year where Sam Little hits a high pop-up. Aaron Bond comes in. He dives. He misses it. Sam's on with 2 outs. And then we let it go again. Just one game all year that the Chukars have been able to come back in a losing position in the 9th inning, and that was the Daniel Martins-Molinari walk-off against the Hawks. It's been otherwise far and few between for those close game wins.
Chukars still have the second best overall record in the Pioneer League, 55 wins and 38 losses, but it has been a struggle here in the second half. And of course, we remember the final game of the first half. We were rooting for Billings that night and they let us down, so now we're rooting for Missoula to close out the second half, and hopefully they won't let us down.
Yeah, there's some irony in there for sure. A team that loses a lot of close games and then losing the first half by a close margin, and here we are again, 3 games left, and this is very cut and dry now. There were a lot of what ifs a couple days ago, but it's very cut and dry. 2 wins for Billings, 2 wins for Missoula. Whoever wins 2 gets in.
And when we come back, we'll talk more about the playoff scenario. It's the pregame show, the Toyota pregame show on KSPZ. Welcome back to Melaleuca Field on this Wednesday, the 8th of September. 3 games left in the regular season, and Tyler, let's talk about the playoffs. It's pretty cut and dry, as you said, but you could explain first off what has to happen for the Chukars to make the playoffs.
So it's not going to be the traditional way. It's not a win of the second half. It'll be on a tiebreaker. So if Missoula wins the second half, they would be champions in both halves. And so the team with the next best overall record would go to the playoffs. And that, right now, is the Chukars and will be the Chukars. No one else will be able to claim that same title. However, with the Mustangs only being a game behind Missoula, they can leapfrog and actually win this second half. So Missoula and Billings will be going at it at 7:05. They actually would have just had first pitch in Missoula. If Billings can go into Missoula and win 2 of 3 from the Paddleheads, they will go to the playoffs to play the Paddleheads in Missoula. Now, that's actually the situation which is going on in Ogden. Boise is in Ogden to play Ogden on Saturday. They've already both clinched. So if you want to look at it glass half empty, you say, geez, we have to root for the Paddleheads to win 2 games. Glass half full is Billings is going to go to Missoula, and they have to win 2 from the division leaders.
And of course, this is the first year that the first round is a 1-game playoff. It has been the best 2 out of 3, and that has definitely helped Idaho Falls in previous years, but it's a 1-game winner-take-all moving on to the championship round, which will again be 2 out of 3.
Yes, and I don't know that you will see the 1-game playoff next year, but it's certainly something.
I hope not.
Something we will have this year, and we'll see how it goes. I know there aren't too many people who are fond of that, especially when you add 20 games. You have a 96-game season, and it comes down to just 1 game. So it'll be a 1-game playoff Saturday in Missoula and in Ogden, respectfully, and then a championship series Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's the 13th, 15th, and 16th. Game 1 hosted by the Northern Division team, which, if it's the Chukars, that would be a home game at Melaleuca Field, and then 2 on the road at the home of the Southern Division champion.
All right, time now for your starting lineups. The Great Falls Voyagers in town for the first time all season, and we're in the same division. Well, I won't even get on that soapbox, but here's Tyler with your starting lineups.
First, for Tommy Thompson's Great Falls Voyagers, it's Braden Daniel in center field, Andy Atwood at second base batting second. Jason Matthews, the third place hitter, bats third. Michael Deeb, the first baseman, bats fourth. Kyle Crowell, the third baseman, bats fifth, with Jacob Olson, the DH, batting sixth. Tavis Brunson, the right fielder, bats seventh. Nick Emanuel, the catcher, he bats eighth, with Jake Malik, the left fielder, he bats ninth for CJ Grant DeBose. As for the Chukars, it'll be Steve Barmaking at third base, leading it off, with Kona Quiggle, the first baseman, batting second. First time we've seen Quiggle start at first. Matt Feinstein in left, batting third. Hunter Hiskey, the catcher, bats fourth. Calvin Estrada in Idaho Falls' debut. He went four games for the Chukars, had 4 multi-hit games in Billings. He's the DH tonight. Welcome back, Thomas DeBonville in center field, batting seventh. Hogan Brown in right field, batting seventh. Tyler Van Martyr at short, batting eighth. Tyler White at second, batting ninth, with Damon Ellis on the mound.
And we're about ready for the singing of our national anthem on this Wednesday. Game number 94 of this 2021 season, about ready to get underway. But it's time to stand, take your hats off. Even if you're at home, take your hats off, put your hand on your heart, and let's salute the American flag. Doing the honors tonight, the one, the only, Rob Farnham.
Mr. Rob Farnham in the singing of the Star Spangled Banner. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we have at the twilight's last gleaming, whose white stripes and bright stars serve the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red flare was bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet
gentleman has some pipes, no doubt about that. Boy, I was going to tell you, Tyler, I took a shower today. You were sort of moving away, but there was a bee buzzing you in the press box.
Oh, the Yellow Jackets have been after me for what feels like a month, John. I don't know what season it is for Yellow Jackets, but they are everywhere, all over the Pioneer League.
Damon Ellis gets the start, his 7th start in a Chukars uniform. He's going up against his former teammates. He was 6-1 at Great Falls. The Voyagers made the trade for Damon Ellis. They went to the Chukars. He's 2-3 in an Idaho Falls uniform, but here at home, he has been outstanding. He's a perfect 2-0 at home. He started 3 games, 1 complete game, and his earned run average here at Melaleuca Field is 4.58. On the season, it's 6.65. Your umpires for tonight's ball game, calling the balls and strikes, Stuart Portella. At first base, Scott Esterholt. At third base is Trevor Walker. Your weather for tonight's ball game, 85, smoky, and no wind whatsoever. As we're about ready to get game number 94 underway. Sort of a disappointing crowd tonight here at Melaleuca Field on this Wednesday. Of course, it is Fair Week in Blackfoot, and the Eastern Idaho State Fair always takes away some of the baseball fans, but hey, we're going to play the next 3 here at Melaleuca against the Voyagers. In Great Falls, Voyagers took 2 out of 3. They swept a doubleheader over the Chukars, 3-2 and 5-3. Chukars won the final game of that 3-game set, 8-3. Overall, Great Falls, 39 wins and 54 losses. As we mentioned, the Chukars, 55 wins and 38 losses. Here we go. Play ball. Lights are on here at the Luke. As Braden Daniel will come to the plate. Daniel played 4 years in college, 2 at Kentucky and 2 at Oklahoma. He's hitting .262 on the year. He's the center fielder. Bats from the left side. First pitch, bunted foul by Braden Daniel. Game time 7:16 on this 8th day of September. Braden Daniel, a switch hitter, hometown of Bixby, Oklahoma. 0-1 again, he squares the bunt. Pitch was way inside, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Steve Barmakian at third base, Tyler Van Marter the shortstop, Tyler Wyatt at second, and Kona the big wave Quiggle playing first base tonight. Matt Feinstein in left. Good to see Debo back. Here's a bunt. It gets past Ellis, and it's going to be a great bunt for Braden Daniel. He got it past the pitcher Ellis, and he's at first base with a bunt single. Thomas DeBonville back in the lineup, first time in about 2-3 weeks. He's in center field. Hogan Brown in right, and Hunter Hiskey is behind the plate. You think Braden Daniel knew something about Damon Ellis and the way he throws and finishes his pitches?
Well, I have to say, for knowing a guy is going to bunt, that is a fantastic bunt to put down.
And he runs on the first pitch. The throw by Hiskey, the tag by Wyatt, in time. Nope, not in time. Bobbled the ball. Boy, what a jump by Braden Daniel. That's only his 3rd stolen base of the year. And Hiskey with a great throw, but Daniel stole that one off Damon. This is Andy Atwood, the second baseman. He squares the bunt. He bunts it down the third base line. This is going to be fair, and back-to-back bunt singles by the manager, Tommy Thompson. Okay. Over to third base goes Daniel. Talk about small ball. That's about as small as you can get.
And you know the guys are going to bunt too. That's the hard part, is there's no disguise here. You know the bunt's getting put down, and you still can't get the guys out.
Now, if this guy bunts, something's up. Jason Matthews, the number 3 hitter, batting .351 with 8 home runs and 65 RBI. And there goes the runner from first. Hiskey will not throw. Atwood has a stolen base. That is Atwood's first stolen base of the year in 24 games. Next pitch from Ellis, called strike on the outside corner. Breaking ball, it's 1-1. Boy, what a strange way to start the ball game. Bunt, stolen base, bunt, stolen base. 2 on, nobody out. And DeMond hits the strike zone on that fastball at 90. And the count is 1-2.
Well, how do you know a team's playing loose? They got nothing to play for, so they can be a little more aggressive, try a few different things.
1-2 pitch, fouled back to the screen. And of course the Chukars, these games mean nothing for Idaho Falls. But you want to try to get into the groove just in case there's a game Saturday in Missoula. 1-2 to Matthews. That's going to be a base hit. That's going to score 2. And the Voyagers lead 2-0. And now an error by the right fielder, Hogan Brown. But it's going to be a double for Jason Matthews. Matthews was going to go for 2 the entire way. Bunt, double, 2-0 Voyagers. And it brings up Michael Deeb, the first baseman.
You certainly want to have some momentum going into what could be a playoff game because the Chukars are 2-8 in their last 10. And that's not something you want to ride into a playoff game.
So the Voyagers roughing up their former teammate, Damon Ellis. He was 6-1 for this team. Breaking ball outside to Michael Deeb. .299 hitter, 10 home runs, 45 RBI. Deeb played his college baseball at Bethune-Cookman, a traditional black college. And here's a ball hit down the third baseline, foul, caught by Barmakian for out number 1 on a little looper that Steve had an easy time chasing it down. Now it's Kyle Kroll, the third baseman.
Now that number 46, third baseman, Kyle Crowell.
Crowell?
Crowell like growl.
Gotcha. Kyle Crowell. C-R-O-W-L, right-handed hitter. First pitch is low ball 1. He leads the team in hitting at .358. Runner at second, 2 runs in, 1 out here in the top of the first. Ellis checks the runner. That pitch low ball 2, 2-0.
And a lot of these players may not have played with Damon Ellis, but Tommy Thompson certainly knows Damon because he was his pitcher.
Right-handed hit against the righty Ellis. There's a strike. Good fastball at 92, hit the outside corner. The count 2-1 on Kyle Kroll.
I look up and down this Voyagers roster, John, and there's some pretty good colleges I've actually never heard of on this roster.
That pitch misses down low, 3-1.
How about Friends University? I would have to imagine that was started by Quakers.
They had named a TV show after that college.
Maybe the other way around.
Check swing, it's low, ball 4.
Something that these Voyagers did, though, was they sort of had a big sell-off. Damon Ellis, Dom Abadessa, Troy Dixon. We saw some of these guys, Ari Kaufman. They traded away a lot of these guys, and then what they did was they went out and they brought in a ton of guys from D1 colleges that did not get drafted. You look at Oklahoma, Iowa, Texas at Tyler, Illinois, North Dakota State, Nevada.
Here's Jacob Olson. He's the DH for the Voyagers tonight. He hits the first ball, could be 2. Wyatt to Van Marter, the relay to Quiggle. Out at second, out at first, and the Chukars are out of the inning, but 2-run score on 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left on base. We played 1/2. Great Falls 2, Idaho Falls 0 on KSPZ, the Sports Zone. The review on our instant replay. Matthews will be given a single, goes to second on the error by Hogan Brown, but does pick up 2 RBI. Steve Barmakian, Kona Quiggle, and Matt Feinstein facing C.J. Grant DeBose. 6 foot tall, 190 pounds. He's 23 years old, a right-hander out of L.A., Los Angeles. Went to college at Union College. He has a record of 1 win, 1 loss. Pretty good numbers, 42 innings of work, has given up just 31 base hits, but he's walked 26, struck out 39, and he has a darn good earned run average in the Pioneer League at 4.25. He did pitch against the Chukars in Great Falls, went 4 innings, gave up 3 hits, walked 4, struck out 6.
Yeah, he kept the Chukars off balance pretty much for that whole game. It wasn't until the 5th inning when the Chukars finally got something going. That was Tyler Van Marter's first home run of the season off of C.J. Grant DeBose.
So it's Barmakian, the third baseman, will lead things off for the Chukars in their home pinstripes. The Voyagers, gray pants, black jerseys, red lettering on the front with green numbers and red numbers on the back. Who in the heck made up these uniforms? First pitch to Barmakian, fastball, called strike 1. Kyle Kroll is at third base, Jason Matthews the shortstop, Andy Atwood at second, and Michael Deeb at first base. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Steve, outside 1-1. Jake Malik in left, Braden Daniel in center, Tavis Brunson in right, and Nick Emanuel behind the plate. Barmakian hitting .339, has 2 home runs, 25 doubles, and leads the team in triples with 7. Takes that pitch outside, ball 2, 2-1.
You know, John, you forgot to mention their neon green bill on their gray hats as well.
That's right.
If I look through my binoculars, I think I can see a little Warhol signature on them.
Maybe they have Campbell's tomato soup as their pregame meal. Barmakian hits it hard but foul. Caught out in front of that one, and he gave it a ride. The count is 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, you want to talk about giving a ball a ride. Steve Barmakian hit a ball over the scoreboard in Billings for a home run, his second of the season. And probably was the second longest home run behind Calvin Estrada going over the batter's eye.
2-2 pitch. That's going to be caught by the shortstop, Jason Matthews. A soft liner. Matthews had time to go back and make the catch on the grass in shallow center field for out number 1. I think the Chukars in Billings, they had 2 games where they hit 3 home runs back to back.
Yep, the Chukars had 3 home runs, one which actually both included Tyler Wyatt. But the first game, we saw Steve Barmakian, Matt Feinstein, and Tyler Wyatt all go deep, and then Tyler Wyatt, Brady West, and Calvin Estrada all go deep.
Here's the big wave. Kona Quiggle, a 2-hopper to Deeb at first base. He'll take it to the bag himself, and there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. The batter is Matt Feinstein, Chukar left fielder. .370 batting average, 21 home runs, and 111 RBI for Matt.
And Matt's right now fighting for that team triple crown because Kona Quiggle is actually 1/1000th of a point higher than he is. Kona coming into the game is at .371, Matt at .370.
And both players in the top 10 in the Pioneer League.
We recently updated our single season leaders, and Matt Feinstein all over.
He's had a great year. First pitch from Grant DeBose, breaking ball for a called strike. That was a pretty pitch by the righty out of L.A., a Los Angeles native. The 0-1, called strike at the knees, slider, and it's 0-2. Matt has a word with the home plate umpire. Stuart Portella from Firth, Idaho, USA. 0-2, 2 out, nobody on base. Grant DeBose, the pitch. That one's outside at 90. 1-2 the count.
Not Firth, Idaho, Spain, or Firth, Idaho, Canada?
No, Firth, Idaho, USA.
Okay, just want to make sure.
DeBose into his windup. And Matt reaches and fouls that one into the parking lot. Count remains 1-2. Grand Junction beat Rocky Mountain in the first game of a doubleheader 8-5 on a walk-off grand slam home run.
I believe that was Josh Elvier, who we did not get to see in Grand Junction, smack that one out.
1-2 pitch, ground ball to the shortstop Matthews. He'll pick it up, make the play at first, and the Chukars go down quietly 1-2-3. We played one on your Wednesday. It's Great Falls 2 and Idaho Falls nothing. It'll be the bottom of the order, Brunson, Emmanuel, and Malik to face Damon Ellis. If you just joined us, Daniel, bunt single, stole second. Atwood, bunt single, stole second. Matthews singled them both home. And the Chukars avoided further damage on a 4-6-3 double play. Bottom of one, no score, Billings, Missoula. I'm a big Paddlehead fan.
Big Paddleheads fans
Yep.
here. It's currently bottom of the first, man on for Missoula with 2 outs. And we aren't going to give you updates like that throughout the night, but we want to let you know the game is going on and we will be paying attention.
Here's Tavis Brunson batting from the left side. 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's 24 years old. Westfield, New Jersey, his hometown, takes the pitch high, ball 1. Brunson batting .280 on the year with a couple of home runs and 17 RBI. There's a strike from Damon Ellis, and that'll even out the count at 1 ball, 1 strike.
And it's important to reiterate, for those who are now just joining our broadcast, that the Chukars cannot help nor hinder their chances for the playoffs with the game against the Voyagers tonight. It's all up to Billings and Missoula.
Next pitch in the dirt, 2-1 on Brunson. Played his college ball at Caldwell University. That's in New Jersey. 2-1 count. Inside, ball 3. Only one of these Voyagers was drafted. That was Olson, the guy who hit into the double play. He was drafted twice by the Diamondbacks in 2016 and by the Cubs in 2019. And here's ball 4. Second walk issued by Damon Ellis. Brunson swiped 4 out of 6. Let's see if he'll be off and running. The Voyagers, 77 steals in 116 attempts. That's a 66% success rate. Idaho Falls, 66 steals and 77 attempts, 86% on the bases. This is Nick Emanuel. Breaking ball from Ellis, called strike 1. Nick Emanuel and the guy on deck, Jake Malik, each played 5 years of college ball at North Dakota State. A football powerhouse. 0-1 pitch. That's fisted foul out of play. It's 0-2. The Idaho State Bengals played North Dakota last week in college football. North Dakota ranked number 7 in the nation, and yeah, they whooped up on my Bengals.
North Dakota State, of course, Trey Lance, a product of that program, and we got news today that he will not be the starter for the 49ers.
There's a slow roller down the third base line. That's going to be tough, and Barmakian drops it, but he wouldn't have a play anyway. So another ball that goes maybe 45 feet down the third base line. It'll be a base hit.
The worst part about that one is that came on a 0-2 pitch.
The fourth hit for the Voyagers, and 3 have not even come close to leaving the infield. This is Jake Malik, the left fielder. Just joined the team recently, batting .213. 2 on and nobody out in the top of the second. Voyagers on top, 2-0.
Yeah, and Malik is so new. We didn't even see him a couple weeks ago.
John and Tyler with you. Pitch outside, 1-0. Malik, 6 foot, 200 pounds, bats from the left side out of Proctor, Minnesota. That pitch is a strike call on the outside corner. Good fastball by DeMond. And the count is 1-1 at second base. Brunson at first base, Emmanuel. Nobody out here in the top of the second. This is game number 94. Check of the runner. This ball's hit into center field. DeBonville's on his horse and not going to catch up to it. It's a gap shot. 1 run's going to score. It'll be an RBI double for Jake Malik. And Damon Ellis's former teammates are roughing him up here at Melaleuca Field. It's 3-0. Runners at second and third and nobody out. Boy, it's great to see Thomas DeBonville back in the outfield.
And he looked okay running on that ball. I might have just lost his footing halfway through. It was a ball he was not going to get to by any means, but certainly good to see Debo back out there in the lineup and in center.
And it was his back the problem, correct?
Yes, the lower back.
Here's Brayton Daniel led off the game with a bunt single. And he rips one down the right field line. 1 run's going to score. And now Brown bobbles another one, and that's going to be a single and an error on Hogan Brown. 1 RBI. As Tommy Thompson stopped the runner at third. Then when he saw Brown bobble it out in right field, he sent him home, and it's a 5-0 score. Give Daniel 1 RBI. Malik scores on the E9.
Give credit to the Voyagers. They made the trip down here to Idaho Falls, and they've got nothing to play for other than their teammates and their own statistics. So they're loose, they're ready, they're swinging at first pitches, they're throwing down bunts, they're doing whatever the heck they want to.
5 runs on 6 hits for Great Falls. Still nobody out here in the second. You know, a lot of times, Tyler, over the years, you get down to the month of September, and a lot of guys can't wait to go home, but I asked you this question earlier, and you said that's not the case for this team.
No, there's actually quite a few guys who are, stick around for an extra week, I believe, and, maybe get their bearings a little bit before they make their journeys home, because a lot of these guys, like in previous years, they're not particularly close to Idaho. They're from East Coast. There's a couple guys from Colorado, but they're not going to go home the day after, and it's a little bit different, living with the host family as opposed to hotels, but there's a couple guys who also intimated to me that maybe they'd like to come back next year as well.
Breaking ball from Ellis, called strike 1 as Bob Malachy had his say with DeMond. Daniel at first base, swipes second. Got an average size lead being held on by Kona Quiggle. Now throw over to first base. This is Andy Atwood. He had the second bunt in the top of the first. 3 runs in. There goes Daniel. Ball hit hard to center field. DeBonville going back. He's going to make the catch. The runner has to re-tag at second. Here's a throw to first, and Quiggle wasn't on the bag. What a catch by Debo. We have missed that, no doubt about it. Debo had to jump and make the catch right against the Guns and Gear in center field. The Guns and Gear sign, and boy, outstanding catch. And Daniel just got back as Debo threw the ball in, and Kona was not on the bag, although he would have been safe anyway. But a great play by Thomas DeBonville.
And that was a test of his lower back as well, because he went up, he banged hard into that wooden wall.
Here's Jason Matthews, swings and misses. Matthews had a 2 RBI single. There goes the runner. The throw by Hiskey, and another stolen base by Daniel. Again, he had attempted only 2 all season long, and he's 2 for 2 tonight.
And that was on the money, but late.
Daniel playing in his 21st game with the Voyagers. Another runner in scoring position. 0-2 the count on the batter, Matthews. And the pitch is low, blocked by Hiskey. Count 1-2. Same 2 teams tomorrow night and Friday night for the season finale.
Regular season finale, hopefully.
1-2 pitch to Matthews. Ball hit to the second baseman, Wyatt. His only play is at first for out number 2. Over to third base goes Daniel, and it brings up Michael Deeb. Deeb fouled out to Steve Barmakian, the third baseman.
Who knows how this game would have gone if the Chukars did themselves personally have something to play for on the line, but if it was the case right now, it would not be looking very good.
No. Pitch is inside. It hit him. It was inside. Left-handed batter Deeb is hit by the pitch. As DeMon Ellis continues to struggle, he's walked 2, hit 1, and has given up 6 base hits.
Well, there's no rhythm right now to this game at all. I mean, look at the last couple of batters here. A 1-pitch hit by pitch, a 4-pitch round out, a 2-pitch fly out, a first pitch RBI single. I mean, these are early in counts. DeMond isn't showing a lot of pitches to many of these batters. They're just swinging.
And here's Kyle Crowell. Another one gets away from Hiskey, but he picks it up. No advancement.
Just think of lion noises. Kyle. How was that? Close?
Yeah, not bad. You must have watched The Lion King a few times. 1-0 the count on Crowell. Pitch at the knees, called strike, 1-1. Well, the boys next to us, to our right, Javi, Scoops, and Mr. Beckstead doing their thing. 1-1 pitch. That's hit foul out of play. It's 1-2. Eric Moon is here from Local News 8 and Corinne McGrath from Channel 6. She'll be our guest coming up here in the top of the third. Best looking sports gal around. Here's a ground ball. Barmakian. His only plays at first. It's a wide throw, but Quiggle keeps his foot on the bag for out number 3. But the Voyagers come up with 3 runs on 3 hits, another error, and there were 2 men left on base. Bottom of the second we go. Chukars down 5-0 on KSPZ, the Sports Zone. Bottom of 2, Chukars down by 5. Hiskey, Estrada, and de Bonville to face C.J. Grant DeBose, the thin right-hander out of L.A. Update from Missoula. The Paddleheads are on the board first. They lead Billings 1-0 in the bottom of the second. Hunter Hiskey, .332 batter on the year. He has 25 doubles. He's a doubles machine, is Hunter. And the first pitch right down the middle for a called strike one.
That Missoula run comes in the form of the Pioneer League leading home run hitter, Zach Almond. Solo shot.
A 1 pitch. This one's going to be hit to right field. It falls in front of the right fielder, Brunson, and Hunter Hiskey. A leadoff single here in the bottom of the second. Zach Almond Joy, as we like to call him tonight. Or Zach Hershey's with Almond. Here's Calvin Estrada. Boy, this guy, was he roping or what in Billings? 8 hits and 17 at-bats.
Yep, and 2 hits each night. A home run, a deep home run. And, you know, we saw a little bit of Estrada when he was with the Ogden Raptors. One of the first games I was reminded of was from Alex Leja, who said, I remember him. I struck him out twice in the same inning, but nobody else I got out.
He's a right-handed hitter out of Van Nuys, California. Big guy, 6'1", 215. A swing and a miss by Estrada. And the count is 0-1. Hunter Hiskey at first base, nobody out. Chukars need some hits. They're down 5-0. Boy, pretty pitch there by DeBose. A swing and a miss by Estrada. Calvin had a home run and a double, knocked in 3 in Billings. He's 24 years old. Down in the count 0-2. And this ball is fouled back on a breaking pitch from DeBose. Not a big crowd tonight on Fan Appreciation Night. Thought there would be maybe a few more. Tomorrow night it's Breast Cancer Awareness Night here at the ballpark. And then Friday night, the finale with a big fireworks show after the game. Count 0-2. DeBose against Estrada. He takes it low, and the count is 1-2 Did we have a late scratch in this ball game?
Yes, we did. Apparently, Kyle Hayes is the catcher behind home plate, not Nick Emanuel, but that green and yellow gear he has on, that's not a North Dakota State Bison. That's the green and yellow of George Mason University.
So Kyle Hayes is the guy who had a single and scored in the second, not Nick Emanuel. DeBose to Estrada, 1-2. Hiskey with a short lead at first. And he swings and chases a ball out of the strike zone. First strikeout by C.J. Grant DeBose. And it's Debo. Thomas de Bonville. Boy, have we missed him. Hitting .333, 12 home runs, 72 RBI in 66 games. And of course, the best base stealer in the league as far as success rate. 24 stolen bases this year. He's been caught only 1 time. Right-handed hitter against the right-handed pitcher. Pitch high to Debo. It's got to be tough for Thomas facing live pitching for the first time in, 3 weeks?
Yep, and they're trying to figure out when they were able to get de Bonville off the ineligible list, and Laurie just did not think it was a good idea to have him in Billings facing live pitching for the first time.
The count 1-0 on Debo with Hiskey at first base, leadoff single. Debo hits a ball into the gap, Right fielder going back. Nobody's going to catch this one. It's off the wall. Welcome back, Debo. He's going for 3. And he will have a triple standing up. And he does the to the moon. We've missed that for the last 3 weeks.
He looks okay, John.
Yeah, I think he's fine. Made an outstanding catch in center field. And a triple here in the second. It's a 5-1 score. 1 out for Hogan Brown. And, you know, Brown wants to atone for those 2 errors he's made tonight.
And you see the good power from Debo as well. He took that off-speed pitch to right field, and he didn't necessarily get maybe all of it, and he still took it all the way to the wall.
His 7th triple of the year. That ties him for the team lead. So welcome back, Debo. Here's Hogan Brown. Swings and fouls it out of play. Hogan hitting .288 on the year, but against Great Falls, how about 5 for 7 up in Montana?
I believe that was one of Hogan's 3-hit ball games he had earlier.
Hogan swings from the left side. DeBonville at third, 1 away. And he takes the pitch at the knees for a called strike. 0-2 the count. No Webb Little tonight, no Sam Little tonight.
Unfortunately, we learned that they had a death in the family, so they are currently on a bereavement list, which the league allows.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's low, ball 1. And Great Falls with a couple of COVID situations, I believe.
Yes, there are 2 players who were left behind in Great Falls that did not join the rest of the team, who are all negative.
1-2. 1 out, a run in, and Brown at the plate. That pitch is low, ball 2.
I have to say, as far as the COVID situation in the league this year, I think I'd be very pleased with how the league has responded to the COVID pandemic, how the rules it's implemented have led to a pretty much completely free season of any delays, any games getting canceled because of that. It's been very, very good this year.
2-2 to Brown, a swing and a miss. He strikes out on a slider at 84, out number 2. And it's going to take a 2-out base knock from Tyler Van Marter to score DeBonville from third base. Or a wild pitch, or a balk.
And this is the matchup that Van Marter got his first Chucker home run. It was DeBose against Van Marter in Great Falls.
Tyler hitting .309 on the year. A couple of home runs, 38 RBI. Van Marter takes the fastball for a called strike 1.
To give you an idea of where he hit that home run, check out the Pepsi sign in left field. That's about the spot where he hit his home run in Great Falls.
From the stretch, DeBose to Van Marter. Pops it up, foul out of play, and it's 0-2. .5-1 the score. Great Falls with the lead. Chukars batting here in the bottom of the second.
I thought you were going to say Missoula. You really got me pumped up there for a second.
Nope, it's still 1-0, top of 3. 0-2. Call strike 3. No. The entire infield started to go off the field. I called it. I thought Stuart Portella was turning to punch him out, but the ball was outside, and it's 1-2. Good eye, Tyler Van Marter. Here's the kick. 1-2 pitch high, 2-2. On deck, Tyler Wyatt.
And Van Marter's home run, he took a pitch for a strike that the catcher had to touch the dirt to catch. And Van Marter was so displeased by that he swung pretty much as hard as he could on the next pitch and hit it out of the ballpark. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Van Marter, base hit into left field. An 2-out RBI single for Tyler Van Marter, and it's a 5-2 ball game. Clutch hit for the shortstop, scoring Debo from third. And now another Tyler that's been hitting the heck out of the ball, not for average, but for power. He has 8 hits this year, 1 double and 3 home runs.
And 2 really big home runs in Billings at a point where that home run either tied or gave the lead for the Chukars in those situations. And of course, you're talking about back and forth ball games in Billings, but Wyatt played excellent.
Wyatt in the Giants organization, and he takes the pitch for a called strike 1. Three hits for the Chucks here in the bottom of the second. It's a 5-2 ball game. And this ball is long. It is strong, but it's not going to be gone. Nope. In fact, that thing sounded good. It looked good, but it didn't even make the warning track for out number 3. But the Chukars get 2 on the board on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We played 2 on your Wednesday. Great Falls 5, Idaho Falls 2. Thank you, Big Wave. It's the top of the third. Great Falls leads 5-2. Olson, Brunson, and Hayes, the scheduled hitters to face Damon Ellis. John Balgini, Tyler Peterson. Nice to be back at the ballpark. I don't like these 6-game road trips. I mean, about game number 3, I get a little antsy. I want to call a game somewhere.
By the time we get to game 4, I'm thinking, am I supposed to get on the bus after tonight? I mean, it especially when it rolls past Sunday, when it rolls past the game day to another night game on Monday, the body and the mind just get all confused.
This is Jacob Olson, who was drafted by the Arizona Diamondbacks in the 39th round in 2016 and by the Chicago Cubs in 2019 in the 26th round. Played 2 years in the Cubs organization. Takes the first pitch from Damon Ellis for a called strike 1. It is our celebrity third inning, and tonight, joining us in the booth is Corinne McGrath of Channel 6 Sports. Corinne, thanks for stopping in.
Hey, John, how you doing? Exciting to be there.
I'm glad you're here. Here's a ball hit, and it's going to be Tyler Wyatt right in front of Thomas DeBonville to make the catch for out number 1 here in the third inning. Corinne, tell us about yourself, your hometown, where'd you come from, and how did you make it to Pocatello?
Yeah, so grew up in Greenville, South Carolina, kind of close to Clemson, if you're familiar with that area, but went to the University of South Carolina, huge Gamecock fan my whole life, and went to school for broadcast journalism. And after graduating, I really wanted to get into sports reporting. Pocatello was first job offer, so came out here to cover Pocatello and Idaho Falls area, and it's been so great to get to know the community. People here are so kind, so it's been a blast so far.
How many years have you been with Channel 6?
Year and a half now, so happy to have sports back. It was this really slow summer last summer with COVID, but it's been great to be at Idaho State football games, and just the high school football games back has been a lot of fun.
Here's a swing and a miss by Tavis Brunson. That's the first strikeout by Damon Ellis. And it'll bring up Kyle Hayes, the catcher.
I have a South Carolina football-related question.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't watch the game, but did I see you guys started like a grad assistant at quarterback?
Yeah,
what
it's
was
so
going on
crazy.
there?
So our starting quarterback, Luke Doty, he got hurt during practice just a couple weeks before the first game, and so this guy Zeb Noland, he actually started behind Trey Lance at North Dakota State, came to South Carolina to be a grad assistant. They're like, hey, we really need a quarterback, so that's the guy they put out there, and he did a great job. I mean, it wasn't too tough of a matchup, but I think it was like 42-0 or something was the score, so.
Damon Ellis blows away Kyle Hayes, a 3-up, 3-down inning. We'll continue our chat with Corinne McGrath of Channel 6. We go to the bottom of the third. It's Great Falls 5, Idaho Falls 2. Bottom of three, it'll be the top of the order for the Chukars. Barmakian, Quiggle, and Feinstein to face C.J. Grant DeBose. Corinne McGrath of KPVI Channel 6, the sports director, in the booth with us. And did you play a lot of sports in high school? How did you become a sports fan, Corinne?
So my family is actually originally from New Jersey, so we grew up just huge Mets fans, Giants fans, Devils fans, and that's just what we did together. That's how we went to baseball games, we went and tailgated on the weekends. So really just watching sports with my dad was how I got into it. Was never that great of an athlete. I played, but
This ball is hit long, but it's going to be out of here. Steve Barmakian hits one over the fence, straightaway center field. The center fielder Daniel went back as if he had the ball. He had a beat on it, but he went back as far as he could, and it sailed away. That one was long, strong, and gone. Barmakian, his third home run of the year, and it's a 5-3 score. And I thought that one was going to be in the park, but Tyler, it just barely went over the center field fence.
Hey, if he just wants to start hitting home runs every other day, I'll be okay with that.
it's a ball game now.
Yes, it is. So from New Jersey to South Carolina, was that pretty much of a culture shock?
Yeah, but the greatest part is both of those areas have really incredible food. So
Okay.
you got the pizza and the Italian up in New Jersey. You go down south, you got all the fried food and butter. So
You're making me hungry.
anywhere you go, it's good food.
Here's the big wave, Kona Quiggle, Barmakian, a solo shot over the center field fence.
We actually have a message for you, Corinne, from South Carolina. Mark West, Brady's dad, says, hey, tell your guests that's where Brady's from, Greenville and Easley area.
Yeah, I actually know one of Brady's coaches at North Greenville, Tyler Jackson. Shout out, Tyler. And he was actually the one who told me Brady was coming out here to play. So I got to interview Brady West one of his first days here, and he's had a really incredible season. So it's been a lot of fun getting to watch him.
Well, back-to-back hits, home run by Barmakian, a single to center by Quiggle, and it brings up Matt Feinstein with his walk-up song, Springsteen. Of course, it mentions number 17. That's the number on Matt's back. Quiggle 5 for 5 in stealing bases, being held on by Deeb over at first base. And the first pitch, Matt takes a big hack. It'll be a foul ball out of play to our right. Do you have a favorite sport, Corinne, that you like to watch more than others?
I really do love baseball. You know, people say that it's not as exciting as other sports, but I like the long games and just getting to hang out. You know, I recently tweeted that in theory a baseball game could go on forever, and I just think that's the greatest thing.
Yep. There's no time limit in baseball. Here's a ball. Nice play by the shortstop, but he can't make the play. That'll be an infield single for Matt Feinstein as Corinne McGrath's got the Chukars bats going here in the bottom of the third.
It's a great thing about a baseball game. You know, no game, no inning, no at-bat has to ever end. It can just go on forever.
Exactly. And that's why I think it's crazy they're doing all these 7-inning doubleheaders. I get that people can like that, but I want as many innings as possible.
Especially in the major leagues. Come on.
Totally.
I think that's going to go away next year.
I think so, too.
I hope so. Here's Hunter Hiskey, singled his first time up. 3 straight hits for the Chukars off C.J. Grant DeBose from L.A.
John, I think your friend Rob Manfred said that next year the runner at second base will not be.
That's another rule I don't like. My friend Rob Manfred, really?
There's some air quotes around that for sure.
Yeah, okay. I'm not a big fan of the commish. 1-1 the count on Hunter Hiskey. Quiggle at second, Feinstein at first, 5-3, and still nobody out here in the bottom of the third. As Corinne McGrath from KPVI Channel 6 scoring some runs for the Chukars. Here's a pitch fouled back by Hunter, and it's 1-2. Of course, you have Idaho State football again this year. The spring season was sort of weird, but now we're back to a full schedule, and I went to the Idaho State game against North Dakota. They looked a little rusty, but hopefully I think they'll have a pretty good season.
Yeah, they did look a little rusty. I don't think they were expecting to come out like that, but North Dakota's a really great team, and I think it was just their size and everything that it came down to.
This pitch fouled by Hunter, count 1-2. We're chatting with Corinne McGrath, the sports director at KPVI Channel 6. Glad you made the trip from Pocatello tonight.
Yeah, it's always fun coming up here, and I usually get to listen to you guys on the radio heading back home. I usually relieve around the 4th, 5th inning to head back for the 10 p.m. show. So I appreciate you guys, getting to hear this and know what's going on.
We appreciate the coverage from KPVI for years, so we would see nobody.
I was just about to say
Channel
that,
6.
just about to say that as well. We really do appreciate the coverage.
Yeah. I think before I got here last January, KPVI hadn't had a full-time sports reporter in a couple years,
Yep.
so it's been really fun getting to rebrand and meet the community and build ties again with the Idaho Falls Chukars.
Count 2-2 on Hunter Hiskey with 2 on and nobody out. It's a 5-3 ball game.
I'd have to imagine that this certain part of the year would be your busiest part of the year, or is that wrong?
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, June's a little slower, especially when you guys were out of town. It was like, oh, what am I gonna do tonight? But now it's with football, high school, college, and volleyball and soccer. So like some fall golf tournaments. So there's stuff going on every day, which I would rather be busy than searching for something, you know?
Full count on Hiskey, 3-2. DeBose comes set, belt high. Checks the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Hunter Hiskey. This ball's hit hard to right. It's going to be over the right fielder's head. That's going to score at least one. It goes off the wall. And it's going to be a double for Hunter Hiskey. And it's a 5-4 ball game. Hiskey with his 26th double. And RBI number 53 as he hit that one off the East Idaho Credit Union sign in right field. Brunson playing a very shallow right field. He's been burned twice.
Maybe you won't make it back for the 10 o'clock broadcast. Like we said, innings don't have to end.
Sorry, Matt Davenport.
I give you a lot of credit, though, because I also did broadcast journalism in college, but I never liked working with deadlines. I like this so much better where the story is in front of me opposed to me having to find a story.
For sure.
And the pitching coach comes out for the Voyagers. That is Brandon Kloss.
So when I played softball, I pitched, but I was really slow, so my dad would say I threw the changeup every time.
Well, Billings has tied Missoula. It's 1-1. Mustangs paddleheads in the bottom of the third. Chukars down 5. It's a 5-4 ball game and 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out. Barmakian started the whole thing off with a home run, straightaway center field. Single Quiggle, single Feinstein, double Hiskey.
This is an opportunity for Calvin Estrada to introduce himself to the crowd here.
Again, 8 hits and 17 at-bats on the road in Billings, making his debut at the Luke tonight. And he can give the Chukars a lead with a base hit somewhere. No activity in the Voyagers bullpen. First pitch to Calvin, a swing and a miss. Again, a pitch was out of the strike zone.
He kind of gives me Robinson Cano vibes, you know, just looks like a big hitter.
He's a pretty big guy, 6'1", 215 is Calvin. Infield halfway in. And he hits a ball high. Out goes the second baseman. He's going to make the catch, and no chance for Feinstein to score from third, so it's a pop out in shallow right field to the second baseman Andy Atwood for the first out. And now it's Debo, Thomas DeBonville, in his first at-bat in some 3 weeks, an RBI triple.
I think the best part about this 3-game series, John, is to give guys like Debo a time to readjust in case we do end up going to that playoff game. 3 games of live pitching in a row, that will go a long way for guys like Tom.
Again, infield halfway in on the dirt. At third base, Feinstein. At second base, Hiskey. First pitch from DeBose is upstairs, ball 1. Boy, how many times this season here at home, Tyler, have we seen the opposition get out to a huge lead and the Chukars battle back? 1-0 pitch. Ball hit up the middle. That's going to score 2. And Debo is 2 for 2 with 3 RBI and the Chukars lead 6-5.
I'll be here all week, guys.
I'll say it again. Welcome home, Thomas de Bonneville.
And to answer your question, I believe the word I was looking for was consistently we've seen that happen. It's almost as if they enjoy playing from behind.
Now, Voyager stands up in the bullpen, nobody throwing yet. De Bonneville 2 for 2 and 3 RBIs in his comeback. And here's Hogan Brown. Left-handed hitter. Hogan struck out his first time up. 4 runs here in the third. Pitch to Brown is a called strike 1. Corinne, you're our good luck charm tonight.
Yeah, it's a great inning.
You had the quickest 3-up, 3-down inning in the top of the third, and now the Chukars are mashing the ball here in the bottom of the third. There goes the runner, Debo. Here's the throw. He's going to be, I don't know about that. He's punched out. 2-6, caught stealing. Only the second time Thomas has been caught all year long. And that is out number 2.
And if you remember, John, I believe if memory serves, the one time was a pickoff attempt.
Why don't you look at that instant replay just for the heck of it, Tyler? That's one thing new this year, our YouTube stream, and we actually have instant replay here in the booth. First time in my long tenure here at Melaleuca and McDermott Field. 1-1 the count. Nobody on base. Hogan swings and fouls it back. It's 1-2. It was a bang-bang play either way.
Want to keep your back straight? Go to the home of the Backsaver mattress.
Chukars with 4 runs on 5 hits here in the third. That pitch high, 2-2. We're in the bottom of the third.
It's almost impossible to tell because the throw beats de Bonneville to the bag, but the throw is to the third base side of the bag. So de Bonneville slides to the first base side of the bag. Does the foot get in before the tag? It's right there.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Brown and down go the Chukars. 4 runs on 5 hits. There were no errors and nobody left on base. Corinne McGrath, KPVI Channel 6. Have a safe trip back to Pocatello. And hey, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Goes Chukars.
We move to the top of the 4th. Idaho Falls with a lead, 6-5.
Malik, Braden, Daniel, and Andy Atwood, the 9-1-2 hitters for the Voyagers. And this is the first time that the Voyagers invade Melaleuca Field. They won the series in Great Falls 2-1. They won both games of the doubleheader, and then the Chukars won the third game of that series. Malik, an RBI double in the second inning. Damon Ellis back out there. He's working with the lead now. And the first pitch to Malik is a breaking ball. That's outside for ball one. Almost no wind tonight, and it is now dark here in Idaho Falls. Pitch to the plate, that's down low, 2-0. We'll be on the air tomorrow, bringing you the second to last game at 7:15, and then one slight change, a YouTube-only broadcast on Friday, as we have more high school football.
Crosstown battle, Idaho Falls and Thunder Ridge will be on the airwaves here on the Sports Zone.
This is high and inside to Malik. It's 3-0. So join us on YouTube on Friday. We'll bring you that game. Damon from the windup, a 3-0 pitch to Malik. That is outside. It's ball four and a 4-pitch walk to the Voyagers leadoff hitter here in the fourth inning.
Third walk by Ellis. He's also hit a batter. That after striking out the last two in the third.
Let's see if Daniel decides to swing at the first pitch again. He bunted at the first pitch in the first. He swung at the first pitch for an RBI single in the second. And Tommy Thompson down at third, already flashing signs to his Voyagers. Nobody out, a runner at first here in the top of the fourth. Chukars, they lead by 1, 6-5. The first pitch to Daniel off of the glove of Hunter Hiskey, and I don't know whether that was a cross-up or what, but that'll be a passed ball. It wasn't that far outside, and down to second goes Malik.
I was about to say Great Falls has three stolen bases in 3 attempts, but don't have to worry about it now as Hunter goes out to talk to Damon.
And that most likely was a cross-up. However, it'll be Hiskey who will be charged with the pass ball. And that's just one of the tough breaks in the baseball rules, but that's how it goes.
Missoula batting bottom of 4, still a 1-1 score. Mustangs paddleheads.
How crazy would it be, John, to come down to the final game of the series, game 96 of 96, and have a playoff spot be decided by a knockout derby?
That would be crazy.
How crazy would that be? 1-0 pitch, that's down low. Literally one guy and a couple swings deciding on if one team makes a playoff over another. I'm not sure if people thought about that when the rule was created, but it would be something in play. Could it happen? Who knows?
Well, the first half went down to the final game of the regular season, game number 48. Billings had a lead, but blew the lead. Missoula came back, and the Chukars lost by a game.
I believe Billings had the lead into the 7th in that game, and we were feeling good about ourselves, and Ostendubski was throwing a complete game shutout. We were thinking, oh, here we go on the way to the playoffs. 2-1 pitch, that is a curveball. That is outside to Braden Daniel, the center fielder.
Well, that's one thing you don't want to do. You get a lead finally, and you walk one guy, and you're down 3-1 to the next guy.
Damon watching the runner at second. That's Malik. Pitch to the plate. That is inside. Oh, called strike 2. Close enough for Stu Portella, and that's a full count. Braden Daniel went to a Power 5 school, University of Oklahoma.
And before that, he was a Kentucky Wildcat for 2 years.
3-2 pitch, swung on and missed, chased a high fastball. And that's one away in the inning. That's the third strikeout for Damon Ellis, and third in the last 3 batters. That'll bring up Andy Atwood, who has singled and has flied out. I'm looking up and down as this ball is hit to third base. Barmakian's going to throw to first and get the out, but I have to say the second base runner was way off the bag. Barmakian didn't looking back to second. I think if Barmakian decided to go to second, he would have had the runner. It was about 30 feet off the second base bag. Anyway, there's 2 outs, and Malik at third. Now Jason Matthews, the third place hitter, had a 2-run single back in the first inning. And the first pitch is a breaking ball hit weakly toward short. Charging is Van Marter. He has it near his laces. He throws on to first to Kona in time. And the inning is over. Leadoff walk to Malik, and then 1, 2, 3 after that. No runs, no hits, no errors, and Malik left at third. We head to the bottom of inning number 4. It's the Chukars 6, the Voyagers 5 on KSPZ 980. Bottom of inning number 4, Chukars leading 6-5. Tyler Peterson and John Balgini live from the Jim Gar Show radio booth at Melaleuca Field, bring you tonight's game on KSPZ 980 and on our YouTube live stream. We'll simulcast action as per usual. Tyler Van Marter up at the plate, had an RBI single to left field in his first at-bat. And the first pitch from C.J. Grant to Bose is hit to right field. In was Brunson, and it's over his head to the wall. Van Marter is going to take second. It's a double for Tyler Van Marter.
And that's the third ball hit over the head of Tavis Brunson, the right fielder. And, boy, you think you might learn a lesson these guys can hit, but Brunson plays maybe the shallowest right field we've seen, and he's been burned 3 times.
That's certainly the shallowest outfit we've seen since the opening day against Billings, John, who their outfielders, it looked like they could have shook hands with the infielders back on May the 22nd, which feels like aeons ago. Here's Tyler Wyatt. Hit a really hard ball to left field, but I don't know what it got knocked down by. There's no wind. It just seemed to die before it got to the warning track. First pitch to Wyatt. That's inside. 1-0 to Tyler Wyatt. Van Marter at second. He's 2 for 2 today. C.J. Grant to Bose, set on the mound. A look to second. His pitch to the plate. Wyatt swings and misses. Didn't wait back long enough on that breaking ball, and it's 1-1. Tyler Wyatt, a college teammate of Kona Quiggle. They both played for Grand Canyon University in North Phoenix. 1-1 pitch to Wyatt. That's high at 81. Some sort of breaking ball that didn't come down into the zone. It's 2-1. Two men on for Missoula in the fourth, and of course, you're paying very close attention. Set is DeBose on the mound. Man at second. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. His pitch to Tyler Wyatt is swung on, popped up, out of play. It's now 2-2. Wyatt 0 for 1 today, and he made his Chukars debut against this Voyagers team. He took an 0 for 2 in a doubleheader game. Here's the 2-2 pitch on its way to Wyatt. He takes just high. It's 3-2. So a full count to Tyler Wyatt. Nobody out. A big hole on the right side for him. Three-two pitch to Wyatt. He hits this, a pop-up near the Chukars dugout over his Deeb, and this will be into the stands about the third row up in our first GA section down the right field line.
Look out, for baseball slam bats coming into the stands. So be sure to look out.
Another full count pitch to Tyler Wyatt. Set is Grant DeBose. A single look to second, and he throws to the plate. It's high, it's ball 4. First 2 men on for the second straight inning. And now it's the big slugger, Steve Barmakian. Barmakian took on center field his first home run at Melaleuca Field this year. Had one in Boise, had one in Billings, but hadn't had one here at the friendly confines.
And it was a moonshot, a very high ball hit to straightaway center field. But Steve got all of it. No wind whatsoever tonight.
First pitch to Barmakian. He takes a fastball, called strike on the outside.
Chukars here at the Luke batting .351 on the season as a team on the road, .323. And they are now in second place behind Missoula. No, it's Ogden.
Ogden, yep.
Hitting .331, 1 point higher than the Chukars.
DeBose to the plate. That's outside. It's 1-1.
You can't complain about a .330 team batting average, that's for sure.
You cannot, and they're only second in the league in ERA, and they do trail the Paddleheads in that category. At second is Van Marter, who doubled to start out this inning. At first is Wyatt, who walked. Nobody out here, and now timeout from the catcher, Hayes.
Missoula had runners at first and second with one out and hit into a double play.
Every inning is so big there, it feels like. A little bit of a helpless feeling, but whatever happens, happens. A huge swing and a miss by Barmakian, who wanted to hit his second of the night.
Other scores that don't mean anything. Ogden leads Boise 3-0. Grand Junction over the Vibes 10-3 in game 2 of that doubleheader.
I wonder how you manage that Boise and Ogden Raptors series. You don't really want to show your hand of what you're going to do in the one-game playoff. The 1-2 pitch, a ground ball to second. There's Atwood. He'll flip to the shortstop Matthews, onto Deeb at first, and a nicely turned double play. 2 out in the inning, and Barmakian is retired. Wyatt out at second base, 4-6. To third goes Van Marter, and it is Kona Quiggle, the big wave, batting second and playing first, his first start at first this year. Chukars lead 6-5 here in the fourth. Two outs, runner at third. And the first pitch to Kona is outside for ball 1. 80 miles an hour, breaking ball from C.J. Grant DeBose. One pitch on its way. That's swung on and missed. It's 1-1. I think there's a character in To Kill a Mockingbird that's Mrs. DeBose. See if my my high school literature, if that's coming all back to me. 1-1 pitch to the plate, a swing and a ground ball into right field, a base hit. Wide open on the left side for Kona Quiggle. He pulled it to the right fielder Brunson, and it's an RBI single for Kona, and it's 7-5.
And he now has 80 RBI on the year, does Kona.
And that's an incredible stat, John, because he's only played in 66 games. It was the Yellow Jackets earlier, and now it's Mosquitoes? What do we got here?
I'm not sure.
Whatever they are, we want to keep them out of our booth. I had a Yellow Jacket fly into my booth in Billings, and I had to take evasive maneuvers to squash it, and it was a very scary duel between the two of us. This ball in the dirt to Feinstein, 1-0, even though I'm about 2,000 times bigger than it.
Both bullpens quiet here in the bottom of the fourth. Chukars have scored 7 unanswered after dropping behind 5-0.
And with that Kona single, they now have double digits. That's their 10th hit. Feinstein is 1 for 2. The pitch to the plate, DeBose throws down low. Now 2-0 to Matt Feinstein, who leads the league in walks. He leads the Idaho Falls Chukars all-time in walks. And soon, I'm sure we'll also have that on-base percentage lead as well. But Chris, you didn't see the size of the Yellow Jacket.
I concur with Scoops.
2-0 pitch to the plate. That is a strike and a little bit outside, but called by Stu Portella. What's the name of the mushroom? It's not a Portella.
It's a Portobello.
Portobello, thank you. You could have Portobello stew, but you cannot have Stu Portella. 2-1 with 2 outs to Feinstein. C.J. Grant DeBose to the plate. Feinstein hits this to right field. In is Brunson. He's there. He's under it. He makes the catch. And the inning is over. A run on 2 hits. No errors. A man left on base for the Chukars. We move on to the top of the 5th. It's now 7-5 Idaho Falls on KSPZ 980. Back inside Melaleuca Field, they're just finishing up the Bob's Indoor Golf Grip It and Chip It Challenge. I don't think I've seen anybody win that one this year, John. That's a tough shot, I have to say.
You know, they used to use like a old bent 7-iron. They wouldn't even get, it was impossible.
Chukars lead 7-5 here in the top of the 5th, and hey, top of the 5th Our loyal listeners know what that means. It's time for the Toyota 5th inning check-in. What are you doing tonight? Let us know. Reply to a Twitter post or Facebook post that we are putting out. We want to know where you are, who you are, how you're hanging out with us. I want to say hi to all the folks who are listening to tonight's game in Melaleuca Field. I'll give you a little wave. I always appreciate a little wave back to let us know you are watching tonight. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, the rest of us. Cheryl, thank you as well. Spot another 2, 3, 4, 5 fans and 5 of the 1,732.
Yes, yep, 1,732.
Ron Ellis will face Michael Deeb, Kyle Crowell, and Jacob Olson, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters here in the 5th. And Damon Ellis, who got into early trouble, 5 runs through the first 2 innings, now has the lead and has an opportunity to get through 5. Here's the first pitch to Michael Deeb, left-handed hitter. He is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch, and he takes the first pitch for a called strike 1. Damon steps off on the 0-1. I want to say hello to the 82 folks watching on our YouTube stream. We appreciate you watching on our KSPZ simulcast. Next pitch to Deeb is a swing and a miss. Curveball at 78. And it's 0-2. Damon from the windup, the pitch to the plate. It's swung on, hit to center field. To Bonville. Over to his right. Now he comes in. He makes a one-handed catch. And there's one away here in the 5th.
After a shaky start, Damon Ellis has retired 8 of the last 9 Voyagers he's faced.
This is Kyle Crowell. Crowell's the 3rd baseman. A walk to Crowell and a ground out to 3rd. First pitch from Damon to the plate. That's down in the dirt. 1-0, and their success was coming with men on base, stealing bases, but if you keep the guys off of base, they're not going to have as much success, and that's what's happened here. 1-0 to Crowell. Olson on deck. 1-0 pitch. That's a breaking ball. That drops in for strike 1. Kyle Crowell went to the University of Central Oklahoma. He hits this one to center. Debo coming in. So is Hogan Brown. It's Debo with the catch in center. Back-to-back flyouts to center. And there's 2 away. Got Deanna Hicks checking with us on YouTube. We've got Bill from Seattle here in R3 in a cherry shirt. I'll have to spot that out. Andrew Herrera letting us know that he'll be here on Friday. Lloyd Arnold is here as well. The first pitch to Olson is swung on and missed. Ashley Bueller's dad, Lloyd Arnold, and sister are taking hogs to the Utah State Fair while watching the game. Here's a ball hit to left field. That'll be down for a base hit. And the first hit all the way back since the 2nd inning when Daniel had an RBI single. 2 away, 1 man on. One of the hogs, John, weighs over 1,200 pounds, apparently. And I don't know how much hogs should weigh or what an average hog weight is. I know a hog shed is a term of measurement. Wasn't exactly in 4-H club growing up in the city. First pitch to Brunson is outside.
I dated a few way back when, but
1-0 to Brunson. This is hit to short. Van Marder is there. Flip to second base. In time to Wyatt. And the inning is over. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left on base. We head to the bottom of the fifth. 7-5 Chukars on KSPZ 980. Bottom of the fifth inning, 7-5 Chukars lead. Tyler Peterson and John Belgini, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We got Tyler Van Marder's Uncle Jeff enjoying Tyler's 2-for-2 night so far. We are enjoying it too. Van Marder has knocked in a run and scored a run. It'll be Hunter Hiskey, Calvin Estrada, and Thomas DeBonville. Debo is back. I'm getting an explanation now, John. Market hogs are 240 to 300 pounds at 6 months old, and the 1,200-pound female is for display. Thank you, Lloyd. First pitch to Hunter is outside, 1-0. Hiskey today, 2 for 2, a single and an RBI double. He scored 2 runs as well. 1-0 pitch to Hunter, that is outside. It's 2-0. Hiskey in that cleanup spot, getting a lefty out, or lefty behind the righty Feinstein. 2-0 pitch, that's high, 3-0. I got some disappointing news to report. Billings 5, Missoula 1 in the 5th inning. This is not the half that we needed Billings to do well against Missoula. 3-0 to Hiskey. Green light? No. He takes a call, strike 1. Tim and Patty watching from Island Park with in-laws Peter and Janet and new friends Ron and Nancy, all from California. Well, hey, what part of California? 3-1 pitch to Hiskey. He fouls it back. Maybe you're from Northern California like myself, or maybe Southern California like the man on the mound, C.J. Grant DeBose, who's from L.A. I got to drive through Island Park on our way up to Billings. First time that I've driven through that area. All that West Yellowstone area, very, very pretty. 3-2 pitch to Hiskey. He swings, fouls it down the left field line, out of play. He stays alive. Dylan Hawley says, shout out the home plate umpire, Stuart Portella, one of my high school teachers. 3-2 to Hunter Hiskey. I think that's our first umpire shout out of the year. Here's a pitch just inside. Hunter Hiskey walks. It's a leadoff walk here in the 5th inning. 7-5 the Chucks lead. Make sure you get in and get heard on our Toyota 5th inning check-in. The Wests are here. We knew that in the 3rd. We get another check-in here in the 5th. And here is Calvin Estrada.
Estrada.
Roseville 10, that's up by Sacramento and Orange County down in LA. Thanks so much for letting us know. Been to Roseville many a time. Estrada, right-handed hitter from Van Nuys, California. That's down there near LA as well. First pitch is inside, 1-0. Estrada, a great series for the Chucks in Billings. He arrived for that third game and played every day since then. Claimed off waivers by the Ogden Raptors, 24 years old. 1-0 pitch to Estrada. He breaks his bat and lines it into right field. He's left but nothing but a knob. But he gets his first Melaleuca Field Chukars hit. 2 men on to start the inning. And now, Thomas de Bonville, so great to see him back in the lineup and healthy. He came back briefly in Boise in one of the previous Boise series. He was dealing with the issue. He got some treatment. He came back, but just was not ready to go, and so he had to go back on the IL. And today, a great catch-up against the wall, RBI triple, 2-run single. He's got 2 men on, nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. Grant DeBoe's on the mound. His first pitch to the plate, that's outside. It's 1-0 to Debo. Came into the game batting .333. 12 home runs and 72 RBI. 1-0 pitch to the plate. That's hit out of play, fouled down the right field line. It's now 1-1 to Thomas de Bonville. The de Bonvilles are checking in. They're in D.C. trying to get to New Hampshire to visit family. Good to have you here, guys. We have Lena Wyatt, Tyler Wyatt's mom, watching in Peoria. The 1-1 pitch on its way to de Bonville. He swings, hits this to center. Out is the second baseman, Atwood. Behind, and this will be an infield fly rule call, so de Bonville will be out automatically. The catch is made to pop up to the second baseman, and there's one away in the inning. And they'll bring up Hogan Brown. Hogan Brown has struck out twice. He's the only member of the Chukars tonight to have not been on base in some fashion. Men at first and second, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th, a 7-5 ball game, which the Chukars lead 7 unanswered for Idaho Falls. They were down 5-0 after 2. Bob and Mona Lapierre are here in L2 as a line drive to right field. That's in for Hogan Brown. And slipping momentarily is Brunson. This is going to get Hiskey home. He's going to score. It's 8-5. That'll be a base hit and an RBI for Hogan Brown. So he gets in the hit parade. And all but one Chukar now, Tyler Wyatt, has a base hit tonight. And now we've got Van Marter family watching as Tyler Van Marter comes to the plate. 2 men on, 1 man out, an 8-5 ball game now. At second is Calvin Estrada. And they'll check on second base where Estrada is. He gets back. And Martyr doubled in his last at-bat, singled in the second. That was an RBI single. 2 men on, 1 man out. 12 hits now for Idaho Falls. And the pitch to the plate. Van Marter hits this to left field. Back is Malik over into the alley. He makes the catch. Oh, Estrada and Brown couldn't really tell whether that was caught or not. Now they both get back. It's an F7. And you know, there is something out there it might be just a white piece of paper, but I mean, from this distance, it sort of does look like a baseball on the field. So maybe that's what they saw. There are 2 outs in the inning, and here's Tyler Wyatt. Pretty good ride there from Van Marter, but comes up empty. And now here's Wyatt. Hit 2 home runs in that Billings series. He has 3 now for Idaho Falls since being let go by the Giants organization. The first pitch to Wyatt. He swings, hits this down the left field line. Over is Malik toward the wall. In front of the wall, it's off his glove, off the wall. This is going to be down for 2 runs. Tyler Wyatt, he's going to have a triple, I believe. I think that ball hit off the wall. Get a pretty good look at it here, John. 2-run score. And that's a triple for Tyler Wyatt, 2 RBI. And now everyone in the lineup does have a hit. Is it possible to have a lazy fly ball with a wall like that? Hit off the wall just above the glove of Malik. Now here's Barmakian. First pitch is outside. 10-5, the Chukars lead now. And this is a 3-run inning. Pitch to the plate, way outside. Nice catch from the catcher, Hayes. It's 2-0. Steve today is 1 for 3. That one, a solo home run to center. Ground ball towards second. Atwood is going to scoop this up. He'll throw on to first. Deeb makes the catch. The inning is over. Chukars score again. They scored 3 more runs. They've scored in each of the last 4 innings, 3 runs on 3 hits. No errors and a man left on base. We head to the top of inning number 6, 10-5 Idaho Falls, on your Wednesday evening on KSPZ 980. Top of inning number 6. Welcome back to our ball game. Tyler Peterson and John Balgini live, bringing you Voyagers and Chukars action. Game 94 of 96. What a great catch by Baseball Bob there on that t-shirt toss. He will take a bow. Well done, Bob. Kyle Hayes, Jake Malik, and Braden Daniel, the first three to face Damon Ellis here. Deborah Kimbrough, row 3 in L2, seats 2, 3, and 4. She's here at the game, letting us know. Appreciate that. Pitch on its way. That is a called strike 2 on Kyle Hayes, who is 1 for 2 today. Originally, we thought that Nick Emanuel was in the lineup, but all of a sudden 21 comes out instead of 27. Here's a ground ball foul. It's still 0-2, and maybe just a late scratch. Emanuel originally on the first lineup card. DeMont from the windup, that is just high. Fastball at 91 from Ellis. A lot of folks checking in with us on Facebook. We really appreciate that. Bob, Chris, Brian sitting down the first baseline. Keep it up, Chukars. Pitch to the plate, half swing. Does he go? Nose as the first base umpire. It was a close pitch anyway. Breaking ball that dove out of the zone a little bit. Here's a ball, again, hit down the third base line, but foul. Still 2-2 on Hayes. Hayes went to George Mason University. I believe that's a Patriot League school, at least in basketball. From Vienna, Virginia, that is, and he takes strike 3 called on the outside. Hayes didn't like the call, but he is gone a-looking. 4 strikeouts now for Damon Ellis. And there's 1 away here in the top of inning number 6. That'll bring up Jake Malik. Malik went back to the ball on a hit from Tyler White, and it just bounced off of the wall above his glove. Nearly had the catch for the final out of the inning. Instead, it was a 2-run triple for Tyler Wyatt. He's been on base twice. He's doubled, and he walked in the first pitch. It's a breaking ball in at the knees for a called strike 1. Jan watching from Lowell, Michigan. Deanna Hicks watching on YouTube. Half swing, did Malik go? I think he did. Home plate umpire Stu Portella says yes. And now Stu will ask, and yes, the third base umpire, Trevor Walker, also had the swing. It's 0-2. Swing and a miss on strike 3. Curveball in the dirt. Damon Ellis dealing right now. His 5th strikeout, back-to-back strikeouts. Now the last 17 batters he's faced, just 1 hit. Now the leadoff hitter, Braden Daniel. Daniel led off the game with a bunt single to second base. Swings at the first pitch and misses. Another curveball from Damon, his bread and butter. It's 0-1. Still 5-1. Billings, that in the top of the 6th. Cannot trust a paddlehead, can you? This is outside. 1-1. Debbie Eskridge in the stands. Come on, paddlehead, she says. I agree. Thanks, Debbie. Devon to the plate. 1-1 pitch. Foul back to the screen. Now 1-2. 2 outs in the inning. Chukars lead 10-5 here in the top of inning number 6. The Middletons are here from Great Bend, Kansas, watching and listening. So thankful it's not on Play Site, they say. Welcome back to Melaleuca Field on YouTube. Go Chukars and paddleheads. Here's a swing and a miss. And Damon Ellis strikes out the side. Daniel, the 3rd hitter in the inning to go down via the K. The inning is over, and of course, no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. We go to the bottom of inning number 6, 10-5 Chucks on KSPZ 980. Welcome back to Melaleuca Field. Tyler Peterson, John Balgini, and you, our listeners. It's 10-5. The Chukars, they lead the Great Falls Voyagers by the score of 10-5. Bottom of inning number 6, top of the order, or excuse me, rather Kona Quiggle, Matt Feinstein, and Hunter Hiskey, 2, 3, and 4. Steve Armakian grounded out for the final out in the 5th. The Feinsteins are here. Thanks for all the great coverage this summer from Old Brookville. We appreciate that, Stephen. CJ Grant-DeBose still in there. First pitch is low, 1-0. He's given up 10 runs, but it's the end of the season, and just now here in the 6th, a lefty begins to loosen in that bullpen. I do believe they're a little short-handed, so they'll need some pitchers to go some extra innings. Swing and a miss to Kona Quiggle. It's 1-1, and for this possibly being C.J. Grant-DeBose's last game this year as a Voyager, I'm sure he's fine with going as many innings as possible. Get them all in before the winter. The 1-1 pitch, swung on, hits a left field. In is Malik, out is the shortstop Matthews. Matthews in shallow left field makes the catch. I'll pop out to the shortstop, and that'll bring up Matt Feinstein. Feinstein 1 for 3. A single, and he scored a run in the 3rd. Ramar Ellis says, "Good job, guys," from the Motor City. Appreciate that. Good job, Chukars, as well, either way. First pitch to Matt Feinstein on its way from Grant-DeBose. It's swung on, grounded weakly towards second base. Atwood picks it up, throws to Deeb at first, and there's 2 away. We'll love to see the Chukars get the opportunity to defend their Pioneer League title. It is their title to defend. Here's Hunter Hiskey, and I'm sure the Hiskies and Middletons are now very tuned in to either their streaming devices or their computers. Hiskey, 2 for 2. He's been on base 3 times. The first pitch outside. It's ball 1. He's scored 3 runs, and he's knocked in a man. Base is empty for Hiskey. 2 away. He's in a 1-0 count and a 10-5 ball game here in the 6th. Pitch to the plate. He takes just a touch low. Nice eye that time. And now on 2-0, he might take a pretty big swing. Eric Thornock and Kurt Holverson enjoying the game from our season seats right next to the Chukars dugout. Let's go Chukars. Here's a ball fouled off. He did have a big swing, but sends it perpendicular to the way I'm sure he wanted. Out over the third base stands. Now the 2-1 from CJ Grant DeBose. Swung on, fouled off again. Now it's 2-2. Had a couple good looks here. Kim Matthews is here. She very much appreciates the YouTube streams recovering from a knee replacement. Well, glad we can help out. 2-2 pitch. Hunter swings and misses. He strikes out. It's a 1-2-3 inning for CJ Grant DeBose. All four of them. We move on to the top of inning number 7, 10-5. The Chukars lead on KSPZ 980. Welcome back, folks. Top of the 7th inning. Tyler Peterson and John Balgini live on KSPZ and on YouTube. Appreciate you checking in, like John Grainer, who is here at the third base dugout tonight. And a check-in from Massachusetts. It's not Situate, though. It's Gary Jeffrey on watching on YouTube. Marla Harris also here watching on YouTube. We appreciate everyone who checked in with us tonight. Damon Ellis still on the mound. He'll face Andy Atwood, Jason Matthews, and Michael Deeb, the 2-3-4 hitters for the Great Falls Voyagers. There was a time about 2 weeks ago where the Voyagers, they were really threatening a playoff run. I think they were only 2 games back of first place, but they fizzed out a little bit toward the end. First pitch, Damon to the plate, breaking ball, a called strike 1. Interestingly enough, the Voyagers only a game behind the Chukars. A 1 pitch, a half swing, down first, that will stay foul. 0-2 to Andy Atwood, batting at .283 coming into the game. He's 1 for 3, a single in the first, a fly out and a ground out. Right-handed hitter faces the right-handed pitcher, Damon Ellis. Pitch count, not bad at all, at 86 right now for Damon. The 0-2 to the plate, that's lined off of the glove of Tyler Van Marter. He might have just jumped a little too high, and that's going to be a hit. Nothing routine about that play. A ball he probably could have caught, but just could not line it all up. It's a single for Andy Atwood. It's his second hit.
Yeah, I think you're right, Tyler. Van Marter had too much hops on that one.
He did too well on the play. Here's Matthews. Matthews a 2-run single in the first and 2 ground outs. First time the leadoff man is on since the 4th. And the first pitch to Matthews is a breaking ball for a called strike. Ellis is set. Atwood a short lead. The pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Hiskey. 1-1 now to Matthews. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Great Falls. 10 runs, 13 hits, and 2 errors for the Chukars. Pitch to Matthews is a breaking ball, fouled out of play. It's now 1-2. Get a few more check-ins in. Tracy McInnes watching from Haymarket, Virginia. Hey, FYI, Keegan and the catcher Kyle Hayes played travel ball together. Here's a ground ball up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Back-to-back hits. And now we have some action in that Chukars pen down the right field line. First 2 men are on here in the 7th inning. And that'll bring up Michael Deeb. Deeb is a left-handed hitter. And here comes Billy Gardner Jr. That's going to be it for Damon Ellis. This pitching change is brought to you by the Smith Group, simplifying the car buying experience for 100 years. We'll be back on KSPZ 980. We'll tell you about the new pitcher. This is your home for Fox Sports Radio and the Idaho Falls Chukars. New pitcher for the Idaho Falls Chukars. It's the right-hander, Alex Fishberg, one of the best bullpen options now for Billy Gardner Jr. He replaces Damon Ellis.
Damon Ellis, rough start, gave up 5 runs on 6 hits in the first 2 frames, but after that, no runs on 3 hits. His totals tonight, 6+ innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, all 5 earned. Of course, the 2 runners are his responsibility on base. Damon walked 3, struck out 6, and he hit a batter.
Damon and Alex both made their Chukars debut on the same night. That was back on August the 5th. Both pitched extremely well. Damon is the pitcher of record. He'll be in line for the win as things stand. It's a 10-5 ball game. Alex Fishberg has come on as probably the guy Billy Gardner would turn to now if there was ever a save situation needed late in the game. His 13th game, an ERA of 2.57, by far the best on the team. He took his first loss in Billings in game 1, 21 innings, 6 earned runs. He's struck out 25, he's walked 12, and he'll face Deeb, the lefty, to start out his night. 2 men on, nobody out here in the 7th. It's Atwood at second, who lined the ball off of the glove of Tyler Van Marter. And at first, it's Jason Matthews who sent a ball into center field. Fishberg toes the rubber. Deeb standing into the box. Deeb 0 for 2, a hit by pitch. Infield playing at double play depth. The first pitch, fastball down low at 89, and it's 1-0.
No change in Missoula. Billings still leads 5-1, top of 7.
Fishberg set on the rubber. Pitch to the plate, that's a half swing, and it's outside. Not called a strike, no appeal from Hunter Hiskey. I think Gardy from the dugout asked where that missed, and Suportella waved his left hand outside. Fishberg pitched against the Voyagers in Great Falls. Scoreless inning in 2/3. A weak ground ball in front of the plate. Fishberg will pick it up with the bare hand, throw to first in time. It's a 1-3 ground out. Both runners move up, and it's second and third with 1 out now. Here's Kyle Crowell. Crowell will bat now with men at second and third. They're going to leave the infield back here, are the Chukars. They're up 5, so they will trade the run for the out. Middle infielders way back. Kona Quiggle and Steve Barmakin pretty much in the middle of their positionals on the diamond. Positionals, that's not a word. This is fouled back off of the mask of Hunter Hiskey. Little strategery, maybe. The 0-1 pitch, that swung on and missed. Now 0-2 to Kyle Crowell, who is 0 for 2 today. He has walked. Fishberg is set. 0-2 pitch outside, fastball at 89, 1-2. Fishberg trying to get Ellis out of the inning. It's Ellis's runner at second and third. 1 out. The 1-2 to Crowell. Fishberg to the plate, a half swing and a foul into the screen. There are now 29 players rostered by these Chukars. 4 of whom are, or rather 3 of whom are on the ineligible list at the moment. Those being Sam Little, Austin Dubsky, and Jake Binder. The 1-2 pitch, no offer at that from Crowell, and this is in the dirt. Now 2-2 to the Great Falls third baseman. We only spent 2 nights in Great Falls this whole season. One of those nights was a rainout, so we played a doubleheader on night 2, and then on day 3, getaway day. Or really getaway night. A long bus trip back home. Fishberg is set, the 2-2. To the plate inside, fastball at 89 again. Or 91 rather. It's a full count, 3-2. One away here in the top of the 7th. A 5-run ball game. Chukars lead. Fishberg to the plate. That's a fastball. No! It was a point down to first base, not a pullback of the arm from Stu Portella. I was ready to ring him up, and it wasn't the motion I thought it was. So now Olsen will bat with the bases loaded and 1 out. That fastball just off the plate. Olsen is 1 for 3. He could make this ball game interesting with a base hit. The first pitch swung on, popped up, out of play, back to the parking lot, and foul. The tying run for the Voyagers is in the on-deck circle. Fishberg's 0-1 to Olsen, way outside. Fastball at 92. It's 1-1. He's bringing the heat tonight. Not really bringing the strikes yet, though. Fishberg with 12 pitches, 7 of those out of the zone. Fishberg to the plate. This is pop up to right. Brown coming in, still coming in. It's shallow right. He makes the catch. Are they going to send the runner? They will not. It's cut off. It's a fly out, and no one can move up. And that's as good as a strikeout for Alex Fishberg. 2 away. Hey, a run back for the Paddleheads.
Dean Navarez hit a home run for Missoula.
The prodigal son, Dean Navarez, who was bought off of the roster by a major league club, I believe the Chicago Cubs, and then was let go by that organization and became a Paddlehead once again. So Billings 5, Paddleheads 2, that game in the bottom of the 7th. Bases loaded for Brunson. It's a 10-5 Chucker ball game. Here in the top of the 7th, 2 outs, bases juiced. The first pitch to Brunson, that's down low, it's 1-0. That home run coming off of Neil Lang, who took 2 wins in that series against the Chuckers. 2 of the 5 wins. 1-0 pitch to Brunson. He swings, lines it to center. That's a base hit. 1 run will score. They're going to send the second runner, DeBonville, to throw that ball into second base. It's a 2-run single for Tavis Brunson. And give Damon Ellis runs 6 and 7. You can close the book on him as well. It's now 10-7. And now that'll bring up the former teammate of Keegan McInnes, Kyle Hayes. So scoring is Atwood and Matthews. To third is Crowell. And now the tying run is at the plate. This is Hayes. First pitch, swung on and missed in the dirt. It's 0-1. I see a few Voyager fans who made the trip down from Great Falls. Falls against Falls in this series. Brunson at first looks like he's going to run. He doesn't, but here's the pitch to the plate. A breaking ball right down the middle of the zone. It's strike 2. Hayes a single in the second and 2 strikeouts in this game. 10 hits now for Great Falls. They trail 10-7. Fishberg a strike away from finally ending this inning. He comes set on the mound. Hiskey setting up inside. The pitch is a fastball. Oh! Just off the plate. A tough pitch to take 0-2. And it's 1-2. The target and the pitch were not in the same location. The target was on the inner half, and that went to the outside. It was set up again inside. The pitch, the 1-2, bounces way up in front of Hiskey. Brunson will take second on the wild pitch. And now it's 2-2. For Idaho Falls, that's their 116th wild pitch this year. 116 in game 94. So just over one a game on average. 2-2. Fishberg coming set again. Second and third, 2 outs for Crowell. The pitch to the plate. Fastball again in the dirt, and again Hiskey blocks it. A ball way out in front of home plate, and now it's a 3-2 count. Fishberg, a quick wipe of the brow. Gets a little bit of the rosin. That's 2 balls now in a row he's spiked. What's coming on 3-2? The pitch to the plate. Fastball hits a left field. That is down for a base hit. 1 run scores. They're going to send the trailing runner. The throw from Feinstein is offline, off of Hiskey's glove. The runner from second is now going to head to third. The throw is in time. And Tommy Thompson doesn't want to hear it from Trevor Walker. He's going to go out and have an argument with him. Trevor Walker is going to run out to left field. And I have to say, Kyle Hayes, it looked like he made it into third safely, but no, says Trevor Walker, and Tommy Thompson is not happy with Trevor Walker. As it is, 4 runs will score. It's 10-9. Tommy Thompson and Trevor Walker now walking away from one another. And this inning is over. 4 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and no one left on base. We will head on to the bottom of the 7th, 10-9 on KSPZ 980. Welcome to the bottom of the 7th inning. All of a sudden, this game is a little closer than it was earlier. It's 10-9. 4 runs on 4 hits in the previous inning. And a close call at third base. Kyle Hayes was thrown out at third base after knocking in 2 runs. It's Calvin Estrada against Anthony Becerra, who replaces C.J. Grant DeBose.
6 innings pitched for DeBose, 13 hits, 10 runs, all earned. He walked 2, he struck out 4.
Anthony Becerra, 5'10", 170 from Jackson State University. He's from Las Vegas, Nevada. And the first pitch to Estrada is a beautiful breaking ball for strike 1 at 68 miles an hour. Not much he could do with that. Next pitch on its way. That's outside. Estrada, 1 for 3 in his Melaleuca debut as a Chucker. One to Estrada. That's down low and outside. Tommy Thompson continued that conversation with both Trevor Walker and then Scott Esterholt, and he had to come down and talk to Stu Portella for the change, but he circumnavigated the umpires there. 2-1 to Estrada. That swung on and missed. A huge hack from Estrada, and he comes up empty. In Missoula, it's a 3-run game. The bases are loaded for the Paddleheads in the bottom of the 7th, and nobody is out. Pitch to Estrada. That's high and outside. It's 3-2. We will keep a very close eye on that ball game. 3-2. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Estrada leading it off for the Chucks. Set is Becerra. The pitch to the plate. He swings, lines it toward second base. An easy catch for the second baseman Atwood. And there's one away. Looks like bases loaded for McLean O'Connor. We saw McLean O'Connor in that June series. Was not a opening day player for the Paddleheads. Tying run on base for Missoula. Here's Thomas DeBonville. DeBonville 2 for 3, 3 RBI in his return to the lineup. 10-9, the Chucks lead. First pitch way outside. It's 1-0. We might see Becerra go maybe multiple innings if needed. They're short on their pitching staff right now, Great Falls. The 1-0, that's high and outside at 81. It's 2-0 now to DeBonville. Becerra to the plate, high and outside, 3-0. 3-ball count on Estrada, now a 3-ball count on Thomas DeBonville. Becerra to the plate. Debo takes strike 1 called. Taking all the way that time. Fastball at 82. John, you're watching that game the same way I used to watch Raiders football when there used to be local blackouts.
It's getting a little tight in Missoula.
Swing and a miss by Thomas DeBonville. I'd be watching there just waiting for the update. All of a sudden it'd say, like, you know, Darren McFadden 3-yard rush, and then all of a sudden you saw the marker starts to go backwards. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of that in Raider football in the mid-2000s. Here's a ball outside. It's ball 4.
Well, I'm watching pitch by pitch in Missoula.
Hogan Brown now steps up. Hogan an RBI single in the 5th. How about the bottom 4 of the order? 3 RBI for Thomas DeBonville, an RBI for Brown, an RBI for Van Marter, and 2 RBI by Tyler Wyatt. There's only 2 players who do not have an RBI in the lineup, and that's Matt Feinstein and Calvin Estrada, but they both do have hits. The first pitch to Hogan is a called strike 1 at 83.
Sort of bizarre, Matt Feinstein with 111 RBIs, none tonight. But the night is not over.
Hogan, a swing and a miss at 86.
Bases loaded walk. It's now 5-3. Billings with the lead still, bases loaded and nobody out for the Paddleheads in the 7th.
If I know that lineup the way I think I know that lineup, McLean O'Connor should be at the top of that lineup too. So I'm sure Zach Almond waiting in the wings somewhere. 0-2 to Brown. He takes high and outside. He took that one like he knew it was coming, and it's 1-2. This is a lefty-lefty matchup, Becerra against Brown. At first is Debo. Caught stealing back in the 3rd inning. Pitch to Brown. That breaking ball nearly gets a piece of his jersey, but it drops low. It's 2-2. Now, if there was a steal situation for de Bonville, this actually would qualify as one. 1 out. Man, at first, you're only up 1. You're only up 1. Pitch to Brown. Ooh, he takes high. Thought about swinging, then thought better of it. Now it's a full count. And we'll see if Gardy decides to send the runner here. A 3-2 count. There goes de Bonville. It's a swing and a miss by Brown. The throw is not in time. Debo swipes second. Number 25 on the season for him. Brown, his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. That's the first strikeout for the new pitcher Becerra. And with 2 outs, it's Tyler Van Marter.
Looks like a pitching change in Missoula.
Not a lot of action on the little dots on the base paths.
Mustangs using their 3rd pitcher of the inning.
Van Marter at the plate against Becerra. Man at second, 2 outs. The first pitch is down low for ball 1. One and 0 to Van Marter. He swings, fouls it back. He takes some pretty big hacks, Tyler Van Marter.
He really does. Half the time he winds up in the left-handed batter's box.
He's got sort of a longer swing, really brings the bat head around with him. 1-1 pitch, he swings, lines this over the second baseman into right field. This will split the outfielders, and Van Marter is going to have 2. It's his 2nd double of the game. It's his 2nd RBI of the game, and it's now 11-9. Just a good old-fashioned Pioneer League baseball game.
And his 3rd hit of the game.
A weak line drive that found a space out there. Here's Wyatt. And you're right, John, a new pitcher. It's the old paddlehead Rabin Martin who's into the ball game. Pitch to the plate. That's lined out of play. 0-1. Oh, did it hit off the light pole?
It did.
That's tough to do. Becerra to the plate. That is down low, 1-1. One of the most impressive parts about the Mustangs, I think, in that series was their bullpen. A guy like Tyshawn Chapman, who struggled so much early in the season, got 2 saves against the Chukars. Rabin Martin, who was let go by the Paddleheads, had a couple nice games. Colin Stone had a few nice games as well. There's Andrew Click, who got a save in the last game, came in late situations. I mean, that team is not only much more well improved, but they are now sort of a complete team. Here's a ball hit to center field. Back is the center fielder. He is under it. Daniel makes the catch. The inning is over. That's 7 complete tonight. A run for the Chukars here in the bottom of the 7th. A run on a hit. No errors. A man left on base. We move to the top of the 8th. 11-9 Chucks on KSPZ 980. Welcome back to our ball game. 11-9, the Chucks lead. 9 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Great Falls Voyagers. 11 runs, 14 hits, 2 errors for the Idaho Falls Chukars. It's Tyler and John, and from Tyler to John for the rest of the game.
Actually, thanks for listening to our ball games. Missoula has just tied up Billings 5-5 in the bottom of the 7th, a 4-run 7th inning. Still 2 men out and 2 runners on base. Here at Melaleuca, 11-9, as Tyler mentioned, it'll be Malik, Daniel, and Atwood to face Alex Fishberg. The Paddlehead rally started with a Dean Navarez home run. A bases-loaded walk, a sac fly. As here's Jake Malik. He is 1 for 2, has doubled, walked, and struck out. Fishberg in his 2nd inning of relief. First pitch down low, ball 1. At the plate for the Paddleheads is Newman.
Hello, Newman.
Pitch inside, ball 2.
We didn't see Newman. He must be a new
man. Understand he delivers mail in the off-season. 2-0 pitch. Call. Strike 1, 2-1.
No one's ever cracked the 50% barrier.
Bill and Debbie taken off for the night. I'm sure they'll be listening. Well, the 7th is over. The Paddleheads have tied it up at 5 apiece as they go to the top of the 8th. Next pitch fouled off by Malik. 2-2 the count. Number 9 hitter out of North Dakota State. Fishberg comes set. Letter high, kicks, 2-2 pitch. Just a bit outside, and the count full at 3-2.
And Mark Simon entering that game now for the Paddleheads, one of the best relievers in the entire Pioneer League.
57 innings, 82 strikeouts for Simon. Swing and a miss, speaking of strikeouts. Fishberg records his first K of the night as we go back to the top of the order for Braden Daniel. Single, strikeout, strikeout for the leadoff hitter.
Comes in pairs for him.
Looking ahead to the Chukars' bottom half of the 8th, it'll be the top of the order. Fishberg's pitch is outside, ball 1. This is so crazy how we have a game here, but we're paying more attention to a game in Montana. 1-0 pitch, inside, ball 2. Of course, this game doesn't mean a darn thing. Although you want to win, obviously. Both teams do. Two and 0, 1 out, nobody on base, top of 8. That pitch called strike on the outside edge. 2-1 the count.
I would almost never tell you to tune your dials away from our game, and don't, but I don't want to pull up point streak right now and just keep an eye on what's going on in Missoula.
Well, we can let you know.
Or we can let you know, it's true.
2-1 the count. Left-handed batter against Fishberg. It's a high fly ball. This one is deep. Brown looks up, and this one is out of here. Home run for Braden Daniel. He leads the ball game off with a bunt. He goes yard here in the 8th, and it's an 11-10 ball game.
And how about this, John? The first batter the Chukars faced against the Voyagers this year was Braden Daniel, led off in game 1 in a doubleheader against Nick Floyd and hit a leadoff home run. So it's his 2nd home run against the Chukars this season.
And only his 4th this year. And here's Andy Atwood, 1 out. That thing was tattooed as Hogan Brown just watched it sail away. Atwood shows bunt, pulls the bat back. He had a bunt single in the first.
Well, how about the Van Marter double now?
Huge hit. Righty matchup. Fishberg facing Atwood. Swing and a miss. Ball gets back to the cement backstop. The count 1-1.
11-10 ball game. You want action? We got action tonight.
21 runs, 26 base hits. Now timeout called to the plate by Andy Atwood. Back here tomorrow night at Melaleuca Field. Pregame show at 7. First pitch 7:15. It'll be Daniel Silva on the mound for the Chucks and Gustafson for the Voyagers. That pitch fouled out of play.
And Mr. Gustafson, he was the first.
Gustafson.
He was the first round number 1 pick in this year's draft by the Voyagers, out of Nevada.
He has a 3-2 record. 1 out in Billings or in Missoula for the Mustangs. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a nasty pitch by Mr. Fishberg. Boy, talk about movement. Out number 2, and it brings up Jason Matthews, the shortstop.
And that might have been a wiffle ball to Andy Atwood. He just had no idea what to do with that.
Had movement like a wiffle ball, didn't it?
Jason Matthews.
Again, the Chucks will have Barmakian, Quiggle, and Feinstein due up in the bottom half of the 8th. 11-10. Breaking ball for a called strike 1. Great Falls scored 5. Chukars came back with 10 unanswered, but in the last 2 innings, Great Falls has outscored Idaho Falls 5-1. A swing and a miss by Matthews, and the count now 0-2.
Has Fishberg thrown a fastball since he's given up that home run?
No. Fishberg gets the sign from Hiskey. The kick and a swing and a miss. He strikes out the side, does Alex Fishberg, but he does give up the solo home run to Braden Daniel. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. As we move to the bottom of the 8th, Chukars 11, Voyagers 10 on KSBZ, the Sports Zone. Bottom of 8, lefty-lefty matchup. Anthony Becerra on the mound, Steve Barmakian at the plate. And the ball hits Steve between the 2 and the 3 right on his back. If you're going to get hit, a nice breaking ball at about 72 miles an hour is the one to get hit by. Now it's Kona Quiggle, 2 for 4 with an RBI. Chukars would love some insurance here in the bottom of the 8th. Kona a single in the 3rd and a single in the 4th. 1 RBI, he scored 1 run. First pitch to the big wave, he hits it foul into the Voyagers dugout. Every Chukar with a base hit. Every Chukar but 1 has scored a run. And every Chukar but 2 has an RBI. The 0-1 pitch, a swing and a miss, and it's 0-2 on Kona. A couple of nail biters on this Wednesday, one here at Melaleuca, one up in Missoula. Becerra, 0-2 on Kona. And the 0-2 pitch, high, 1-2. Chukars looking for their 31st win at home against 15 losses. The second best home record in the league behind Missoula. This ball came in on the hands of Quiggle. He fought it off and fouled it down the 3rd baseline. The Paddleheads keep the Mustangs off the scoreboard in the top of the 8th. They go to the bottom of the 8th in Missoula in a 5-5 ball game. 1-2 pitch. Blooped. Might fall. In comes the left fielder. He can't make the catch, and Kona has a bloop single to left field. He hit it in no man's land. Shortstop Matthews went out. Malik, the left fielder, was on his horse, but his horse came in second, and it's a base hit for Kona, his 3rd of the ball game. First and second, nobody out for Matt Feinstein. Well, Kona's had a single to center, a single to right, now a single to left. Spreading the wealth is the big wave tonight. Here's Matt Feinstein, 1 for 4. Good chance to pick up RBI number 112 right here. And the pitch is outside for a ball. Chukars would love to get a couple of insurance runs here in the 8th. Two on, nobody out. Pitch low, 2-0. Stick around for our Westmark Credit Union postgame show. Coming up after the last out. This ball is long, strong. It is, you guessed it, gone. Well, forget about RBI number 112. How about 112, 113, and 114? No doubter over the scoreboard. And there's the insurance runs the Chukars need, and Matt Feinstein continues to impress. A monster year, his 22nd RBI, or his 22nd home run, RBI number 112, 113, and 114.
I want to see the invoice that comes tomorrow for that ball, which had to have gone through the roof of a house on the other side of the street, because that was destroyed to left field.
Wow. Here's Hunter Hiskey. Second home run of the night for the Chukars. And here's a ball hit hard by Hunter, straight up the middle for a single. No, that's not Hunter. Yes, it is. Hunter Hiskey. I got ahead of myself in my scorebook. Now it's Calvin Estrada. Feinstein, well, he was one of 2 Chukars without an RBI, picks up 3 on one swing of the bat. Here's the other guy that doesn't have an RBI tonight, Calvin Estrada. Well, what a blast by Matt Feinstein. Estrada swings and fouls it back out of play.
Well, right before he hit that ball, John, I was going to tell you about a pitcher who was warming up for a save situation, but that's not the case anymore.
Unless Fishberg comes back out 3 innings, he would get the save.
Mm-hmm.
That pitch low to Calvin, 1-1 the count. A typical Pioneer League ball game, 14-10. Breaking ball way outside, and it stayed outside. It's 2-1. Well, Daniel hit a solo shot for the Voyagers in the top half. Feinstein does them 3 better, a three-run shot in the bottom half of inning number 8. This ball hit to the right fielder is going to be Brunson. He goes back, makes the catch for out number 1. 1 out, runner at first base, 3 runs in. And the Paddleheads are batting in the bottom of the 8th. Dean Navarez leads it off, the guy who homered in the 8th, or in the 7th. Here's Thomas de Bonville. Debo is 2 for 3. 3 RBI, a single, a triple, and he scored twice. And he picked up a stolen base. And he swings and fouls one out of play. It made an outstanding catch against the center field fence.
If that was under your car, remember to take it to Young Auto Body, located at 891 930 Drive in Idaho Falls.
Hiskey with 3 hits on the night, the 3rd Chukar with 3 base hits. There's a ball. It's going to be caught by the second baseman. That's Atwood in shallow right field for out number 2. And it brings up Hogan Brown. Brown 1 for 4, singled and knocked in 2 in the 5th. The other 3 at-bats you'd like to forget. Strikeout swinging, strikeout swinging, strikeout swinging. Again, as we look ahead to the 9th, it'll be Deeb, Crowell, and Olson for the Voyagers. First pitch is a called strike 1 to Hogan. Boy, did Finey hit that one hard. Wow. What a great season he's had. If there's, I don't know if there's going to be an MVP in the Pioneer League, but I know you get my vote. Here's a ball, a little looper, and it's caught by the shortstop for out number 3. Chukars scored 3 runs on 3 base hits, no errors, and 1 runner left stranded. After 8 complete, Idaho Falls 14, Great Falls 10. Top of 9, last call for the Voyagers. They'll face the third Idaho Falls pitcher to come into the game tonight, John Nunnally. John 6'1", 205 out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Nunnally's numbers this year: a 6.25 earned run average. He's 2 wins, 3 losses, and he has a couple of saves. He replaces Alex Fishberg, who went 2 innings, gave up 3 hits. 2 runs, both earned. He walked 1, struck out 3, and he tossed a wild pitch. It'll be Michael Deeb, the first baseman, leading things off. Deeb is 0 for 3. He's fouled to third, flied to center, grounded back to the pitcher, and he was hit by a pitch.
Now batting, number 14, first baseman, Michael Deeb.
Deeb with 10 home runs. That is second on this team. Great Falls with 78 home runs this season compared to the Chukars, 115. A swing and a miss, and the count is 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch to Deeb, high fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Missoula with a man on second and 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. 1-1 the pitch to Deeb. Check the swing, the pitch low, 2-1. The kick and the 2-1 pitch. High fly ball, shallow right field. In comes Hogan. Brown waits for it to come down, makes the squeeze for out number 1.
Now batting, number 26, third baseman, Kyle Crowell.
And here's Kyle Crowell. He's hitless in 2 official at-bats. He's walked twice and scored once. That pitch from John Nunnally is way high for a ball, 1-0. Next pitch misses, 2 balls, no strikes. The kick, the 2-0 pitch, low, ball 3. "14 runs, 17 base hits for the Chukars tonight. 10 runs, 12 hits for the Voyagers." Here's the 3-0 pitch. There's the automatic 3-0, called strike 1. "3-1, 1 out, nobody on base. Chukars lead by 4. That pitch inside, ball 4. So Crowell walks for the 3rd time tonight. And it brings up Jacob Olson. Olson 1 for 4. And played 2 seasons in the Chicago Cubs organization. Didn't fare well. He hit .214 in 82 games for the Cubbies, if you will. Quiggle playing behind the runner at first base. Right-handed hitter against Nunnally. That pitch caught the outside corner for a called strike 1. Nunley comes set from the shoulders. The pitch. There's a high pop-up infield. Barmakian's going to call for it. And he'll make the catch in fair territory for out number 2.
Now batting, number 16, right fielder, Tavis Brunson.
And here's Tavis Brunson. He singled and knocked in 2 his last time up. Another pitching change for the Mustangs in the bottom of the 8th. There goes a runner. Not being held on, no stolen base. Defensive indifference. That run doesn't mean a thing. Chukars were down 5-0 early, but came right back to take a 6-5 lead after 3. Pitch low, ball 1. Make it ball 2, excuse me. 2-0 the count on Tavis Brunson out of Westfield, New Jersey. Nunley, 2-0 pitch, breaking ball down low, it's 3-0. Three balls, no strikes, 2 outs, runner at second. Chukars after their 56th win of the year. There's the strike call, and it's 3-1. Now 2 outs for the Paddleheads in the bottom of the 8th. Nunley gets a sign from Hiskey. 3-1 on the way to Brunson. That's a high fastball called strike 2 and the count full. Make some noise, Chukar fans. Javier Hernandez, the outstanding public address announcer. Time to get on your feet. 3-2. Inside, ball 4. So 2 walks by Nunley here in the 9th. And that'll bring up Kyle Hayes, the catcher. Hayes is 2 for 4. Singled and scored in the 2nd. Doubled and knocked in 2 in the 7th. Right-handed hitter against the right-handed pitcher, John Nunley. That pitch is a breaking ball for a called strike 1. Chukars lead 14-10, top of 9. The kick in the 0-1. Check swing foul, it's 0-2. Fans making some noise. Nunley facing Hayes. Oh, 2 out, 2 on. Nunley to Hayes. The pitch from John. Call strike 3. Ball game over. Chukars win 14-10 on this Wednesday night. Stick around. Our Westmark Credit Union post-game show is coming up next here on KSPZ, the Sports Zone.
Fans, we got some breaking news for you. Missoula has taken the lead in the top of the 9th inning. Oh, correction, bottom of the 8th inning.
Final score tonight from Melaleuca Field, Chukars 14, Voyagers 10. Time to head on down to the field with Tyler Peterson with our player of the game.
Thank you, John. Tyler Peterson here with our Domino's Pizza player of the game, Debo Thomas de Bonville. First off, Debo, welcome back. It's your first game since coming off the ineligible list. First of all, what was it just like to be back here in the ballpark in front of the fans?
It was awesome to be back here and be able to play with my boys. So that was super nice, and come away with the win. It was great to be back.
You were 2 for 4, a triple, 3 RBI, and a run. How did you feel out there? Was the back feeling good? I saw you crush it into the wall in center field early on.
Yeah, back's feeling good. Back is ready, and hopefully Missouri wins and we get that playoff, baby.
Well, we just have to wait and see what happens for our playoff spot, but these last 3 games you can play maybe a little bit more loose. What's the mindset for the last 2?
I think the mindset is just picture we're in the playoffs, go out there and try to get hot, heat up, and if we make playoffs, I think we're going to heat up this series and we'll be looking good for the playoffs.
I have a large 3-topping pizza courtesy of Domino's. Debo, great job. Congratulations. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the pizza.
Thanks, Ty.
Thanks, Tom. John, back to you.
Nice to have number 11 back roaming center field, Thomas de Bonville, our player of the game. Back with more on the post-game show coming up here on KSPZ. Welcome back to the Melaleuca Field. Chukars win the first of a 3-game set over Great Falls, 14-10. That's after falling behind 5-0. We'll have the final numbers of tonight's ball game, but time to check some scores.
One game still in progress in Major League Baseball. We'll start with all the rest that finished first, though. The Mariners scored 4 in the 9th inning. They avoid a sweep by the Astros in Houston. It's Mariners 8, Astros 5. Giants get their 3rd in a row over the Rockies. They had 4 of their own in the 9th. They win 7-4 in Denver. Rangers 8, Diamondbacks 5, that in Arizona. Twins 3, nothing over the Cleveland Indians. Tigers a 5-1 win over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Brian De La Cruz, 3 hits, including a game-winning single for the Miami Marlins, a 2-1 win in 10 innings in Miami. Orioles 9-8 over the Kansas City Royals. Blue Jays 6-3 over the New York Yankees. They dropped the sliding Yankees from the top wild card spot, John. Wow.
Yeah, you win 13, then you lose 7 out of 9. That's the way the Yankees are playing.
And the Red Sox 2, Rays 1 as well. Nationals 4-2 over the Braves. Cubs 4-1 over the Reds, that in 10 innings. Brewers 4-3 over the Philadelphia Phillies in Milwaukee. Cardinals a 5-4 win over the Dodgers in St. Louis. The Padres win 8-5 in San Diego over the Angels. And the last game, still in play, A's 5-1 over the White Sox in Oakland.
Pioneer League scores. Grand Junction takes 2 from Rocky Mountain. The scores 8-5 and 11-3. Ogden beats Boise 6-2, and in the big game of the night, they're in the top of the 9th. It's Missoula 6 and Billings 5. With the Mustangs batting, they have a runner at first base and nobody out. Your final numbers for tonight's ball game for the Chukars: 14 runs, 17 hits, 2 errors. They left only 5 men on base. For the Voyagers, 10 runs, 12 hits, no errors. They left 7 men on base. Winning pitcher Damon Ellis, he's now 8-4. The loser C.J. Grant Dubose, his record drops to 1-2. 3 home runs were hitting the ball game for the Voyagers. It was Braden Daniel in the 8th inning, a solo shot, his 4th. And for the Chukars, Steve Barmakian in the 3rd, a solo shot, his 3rd of the year. And the big blast, Matt Feinstein in the 8th with 2 men on, his 22nd of the year. RBIs 112, 113, and 114. The game took 3 hours and 1 minute to play in front of a crowd of 1,732. So the Chucks get the win, and hopefully the Paddleheads can hang on, Tyler, as we continue to hope for good news out of Missoula.
3 outs away, and if they can win tonight, then they'll have 2 shots at it the next 2 nights. Aaron Bond with a pop out to third base. So 1 out now in the 9th inning. Welcome back to Paddleheads Baseball on KSPZ 980. But John, it was a great night tonight. We saw a little bit looser baseball than normal, maybe you could say. Some early swings, some little creative plays that we didn't see maybe earlier in the season. Obviously the back-to-back bunts at the top of the lineup, we haven't seen that all season, especially for a guy who can hit a home run like Daniel did. But great all around. The bullpen today, Fishberg and Nunley, were good. Damon Ellis a little shaky, settled down, and then was replaced in the 7th inning. But you have to be happy once again. The Chucks fighting back, putting up runs after they're down early, something we've seen all season, something we hope continues as well.
And how nice was it to have number 11 back in the lineup roaming center field?
It was perfect for Debo. His return game rightfully deserved a pizza. Tyler Van Marter could have got it as well with 3 hits and 2 RBI, but Debo, this was his night. 2 hits, 3 RBI for him, especially some big ones early on. He got it all started with his first run for the Chukars in the 2nd, and they didn't look back from there.
Once again, the final score tonight's game, the Chukars 14 and the Voyagers 10. Same 2 teams tomorrow night here at Melaleuca Field. We'll be on the air at 7 o'clock and the first pitch at 7:15. Until then, for Tyler Peterson, I'm John Balgini reminding you that Chukars Baseball is a presentation of Sandhill Media. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, videos, and accounts of this game is prohibited without the express written consent of the Pioneer Baseball League, Sandhill Media, and KSPZ, the Sports Zone. Tonight, the Chucks win by the score 14-10. Good night, everybody. Good night, Jim.